We're in windy Waco, Texas. The 6th-ranked Baylor Bears head into McLean Stadium, looking to extend a 15-game home winning streak. Led by senior quarterback Bryce Petty, playing in his final home game with 14 other seniors. The leader for 9th-ranked Kansas State is senior quarterback Jake Waters, playing in his final regular season game. The 2012 Big 12 champs against the 2013 champions, and a share of the 2014 title on the line next. And we welcome you to ESPN's College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels, all part of Jimmy V Week for Cancer Research on ESPN, as we continue our commitment to the V Foundation and Jim Valvano's dream to defeat cancer. What a scene at McLean Stadium. A rush, if you will. Number 9, Kansas State. Number 6, Baylor, set to square off here in Waco. Who's in? We find out officially tomorrow afternoon. But Oregon took care of their business with a Pac-12 title victory over Arizona last night. Earlier this afternoon, TCU in a rout over Iowa State, they staked their claim. And just minutes ago in Atlanta, Alabama beat Missouri. So the top-ranked Tide know that they're playoff bound. And that again brings us to why we're here and how it looks in the college football rankings. Alabama on top, Oregon number 2, TCU number 3. Florida State and Georgia Tech are getting together in about 15 minutes. And that brings us to the Baylor Bears. And that brings us to Waco, Texas. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Todd Blackledge. Well, partner, it's a Big 12 title that Baylor or Kansas State can share with TCU. But there's a lot more on the line tonight for Baylor, because we were here earlier this season when they beat TCU right here by 3.
Yeah, and that game should weigh into everybody's mind, that head-to-head competition. But, you know, Baylor can't look beyond tonight, because this Kansas State team historically is a team that does not beat themselves. They make you earn it. And just the feeling I got on the field before the game from some players and coaches from Kansas State, they think, a lot of people think this game's already been determined. They're here to play tonight.
Well, you know, Baylor likes to run about 90 plays a game, and Kansas State's probably not going to let them do that.
Well, Baylor's an offense that leads the nation in scoring and total offense. They score often and they score fast, and they do it with big plays. Kansas State is a defense that prides itself on being physical and disciplined and minimizing big plays. And last year when these two teams met in Manhattan, Kansas State had the formula. They controlled the tempo of the game. They limited Baylor to only 58 offensive plays. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, 3 of those plays were long touchdown passes by Bryce Petty, who threw for over 300 yards on only 12 completions. Let me put that into perspective. They had 3 plays over 40 yards in this game alone last year. For the season this year in 11 games, Kansas State's defense has only given up 6 such plays. That's the big story tonight.
As Bryce Petty told us yesterday, against this Kansas State defense, we can't get bored. I know one thing, crowd in this stadium and all of you watching will not be bored when we kick this one off. Baylor, Kansas State for a share of the Big 12 crown coming up next.
ESPN College Football Primetime is brought to you by Dr. Pepper, always one of a kind. Dish, ask how to get the most football anywhere, only with the Hopper from Dish. And Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Go Texas, where these fans are hoping for an upset tonight. Florence gonna go deep, got a man out there, touchdown Baylor. Line to throw, pump fake, deep sideline, and it's intercepted. Blitz coming, Florence throws to the end zone, touchdown. Colin Klein. His Heisman Trophy might have gone. Kansas State has never been number 1. They won't be number 1 tomorrow. That was 2 years ago where the dream died for Kansas State. Baylor doesn't want that to happen to them against the Wildcats tonight. 60 degrees, great night, full moon. Waco, Texas, 3rd member of our team, as always, Holly Rowe.
Well, Baylor Nation was holding its breath all week this week, Brad, to see if their starting quarterback Bryce Petty would play after he suffered what the school called a mild concussion last week against Texas Tech. Speaking to Bryce, he said that he passed all the protocol tests. He has a baseline test that all student athletes have to take when they enter school healthy. He passed with similar results, and he's been symptom-free since the early part of this week. He took all of the reps reps in practice on Thursday, according to his coach, Art Briles, and he said he is ready to play tonight. But guys, have to keep in mind, how will that affect him if he tries to run the ball or if he does take another hard hit? We'll keep our eye on Bryce Petty.
Yeah, good point, Holly. Art Briles, remarkable job he's done in his 7 years. 16-0, home as a ranked team. This is the first time these teams have ever played each other when they were both ranked, and both, in this case, in the top 10. And Bill Snyder, who's resurrected Kansas State's football program more than once. They come in 9-2, 7-1 in conference play, coming off a big win over Kansas a week ago. But in top 10 matchups, things have not gone so well. Baylor won the toss, and they want the football first. So Kansas State to kick off. Beautiful night. A little bit windy, but not really on the field. Outside the stadium, pretty breezy, but inside, because of the height of McLean Stadium, I don't think it's going to be much of a factor. Corey Coleman and Antoine Goodley await the Kansas State kickoff of Ian Patterson. All the TCU fans are watching, the nation watching to see if Baylor can get in the big party. We're about to find out in the next 3.5 hours. Goodley from 2 yards deep. Got it out near the 20. And that's where the Bears will go to work as we take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players tonight. Shock Linwood well over 1,000 yards on the season so far, including 15 touchdowns. Corey Coleman, the leading receiver. He's got 10 touchdown receptions. Ryan Mueller and Jonathan Truman, guys are just plain football players. One leads the team in sacks, the other in tackles. Here comes Bryce Petty. Gotta love the black jerseys with black names. It really helps us out.
If you zoom in, you can see it.
Yep. You could barely see him down on the field when you were standing next to him. First snap will be at the 19-yard line. Empty backfield. Petty to throw across the middle and low and dropped. Should have been caught probably by K.D. Cannon. Now Bryce in his senior season, not quite the numbers he put up a year ago, but that would have been hard to do actually. 32 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, over 4,200 yards last year. Those numbers still pretty good. On 2nd and 10, fires near side. That one's complete. It's going to be a first down to Corey Coleman out across the 30.
Well, Holly told you about the concussion last week. He had a back injury in the first game against SMU, so he's played through some pain and some difficulty this year and still has pretty solid numbers.
Again, empty backfield, 3 wideouts to the top, 2 to this side, and a slant goes quickly to Coleman again, and another first down. Just trying to get on the ground without losing the ball. It did come out at the very end.
Kansas State's defense is what you would call a bend but don't break. In between the 20s, they're going to give up some plays. They try to keep the ball in front of them. When you get in the red zone, that's when they tighten up.
Petty throws far side, another first down. Just chewing it up at 10 and 11 yards a pop right now off the arm of Bryce Petty.
And this is good patience by Bryce Petty. He knows what kind of defense Kansas State is. You can't get greedy. You can't get anxious. You have to take the throws that are there and wait for your opportunities to take shots down the field.
Already in Kansas State territory. Here comes the long shot, and it's broken up. Big play by Randall Evans, who got a hand in on the last moment.
Now Coleman asking for interference, but pretty well played by Evans. He's tracking the ball. He makes a play on the football. The left hand did have contact on the back. But
a little bit of jersey.
Yep, but with the right hand, he makes a play on the ball. And no call.
5 straight pass plays for Baylor here in the opening minute. 2nd down and 10 at the 47. Finally, they got a running back, and it's Goodley. And Goodley broke a tackle at the 30. Goodley still on his feet all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, Goodley is not your typical running back. Body-wise, he's 5'11", 220 pounds. He's built like a running back. And he hits this hole quickly. And the first running play of the game for Baylor is out the gate for a big game.
33 yards down to the 14. Levi Norwood, the only guy in the backfield, and now he comes in motion. Quick slant, complete. Coleman spinning down to the 1. 1st and goal, Baylor.
Well, this is just precision work by Bryce Petty. He's taking whatever throw is there, Most of this drive has been with an empty backfield, and we got it again.
And he's going to try for his 5th rushing touchdown of the year, and he's got it from a yard out. Impressive opening march by Baylor.
Well, if there was ever wonder whether Bryce Petty would run the football game tonight, coming off of the concussion a week ago, he scores the opening touchdown with a quarterback sneak. What a drive.
As many of them are, a quick drive as well. Chris Callahan in for the point after. Nothing Baylor. I said a lot of them don't take long. That one only took 1 minute and 35 seconds to go 81 yards.
Really good read by Bryce Petty on the quarterback sneak. See that big opening right there? He just paused momentarily, took a couple shuffle steps left, and went right into that void for the first touchdown of the game. Protects the football, leads with the shoulder, and Baylor leads on the scoreboard. That looked easy.
Sure did. Too easy. Bryce was 4 out of 6 on that drive for 47, and then did it himself for the final yard.
And it was all patient plays. There were no big chunk plays. They took one shot, and it was close. One of the reasons this offense is so good at big plays, Brad, is Bryce Petty's accuracy on the deep ball is outstanding. As good as I've seen anybody in college football this year, he throws down the field with great accuracy.
And then, oddly enough, the biggest chunk they got was from a wide receiver out of the tailback slot for 33. It's a fired-up group already. So's the 47,000 we got in the place here in Waco. Getting loud. Spencer Evans to kick.
Kicking away from Lockett.
They don't want it to get to him, but the short kick will come down, and they're going to get it around the 35-yard line. The up man, Leighton Dowling, made the catch.
And that's just like kicking the ball out of bounds. You know, give him the ball in the 35 to start.
Jake Waters, good season he's had. That's a little different look for Kansas State. They're throwing the ball a little bit more than they used to.
Well, when they played last year in Manhattan, they ran the ball for 327 yards, and their quarterback, Daniel Sams, who started, ran for 199. This year, they're not running the ball nearly as effectively, but Jake Waters has thrown the ball extremely well. The best players on Kansas State's team are Waters and his 2 wide receivers, Lockett and Sexton.
They're making it rough on Waters right now to get the first play underway. The crowd, that is. First down at the 36. Robinson hits across the 40, pickup of about 5. We take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players going the other way. B.J. Finney, 51st start at center. That's what you want around a veteran guy. Tyler Lockett, Todd already talked about it. Not only is a wide receiver, but a return man. Almost nobody in the country any better. Sean Oakman leads the team in sacks for Baylor, and Bryce Hager, their linebacker, their leading tackler.
And you'll see Lockett and Sexton on the same side in twin formation most of the night. They're an excellent duo in how they run routes together.
Second down and 5. Play fake, quick throw out to Lockett. Looking for a block. Got part of one from Sexton and picked up 3 more, but it'll still bring up third down and a couple.
This Baylor defense last week was torched by Texas Tech for 598 yards passing and 6 touchdowns. Phil Bennett said they lost their focus, fatigue factored in, but through the course of the season in the first half, they have typically played outstanding defense.
Third down and 2. Kansas State 47% of their third downs this year.
Quarterback run, a possibility here on 3rd and short.
He's got Gronkowski, his fullback slash tight end, in the backfield with him as a blocker. The throw complete out to Sexton. First down at the 49 of Baylor. That quiets the crowd. Nice pitch and catch there.
Lockett has 79 catches. That's the 65th catch of the season for Sexton. Very sure-handed guys. And Jake Waters has tremendous confidence in both of them.
And they're probably his 2 best friends on the team. That doesn't hurt either. He knows he can count on number 14 and number 16. He's got him in Baylor territory at the 49. DeMarcus Robinson back in at tailback now. Waters steps up in the pocket, has some room in front. He is going to run. He got a decent gain to the 45 before he's run out of bounds. Maybe the 44.
Jake Waters has not run as much this year. I mean, his numbers, 440 yards and 8 touchdowns. He runs more in the red zone. Has battled a little bit of a shoulder injury that he had earlier in the year, and maybe that's limited some of his running. But now, last game of the year, a break, no matter where they go to play in the postseason. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him run the ball more tonight.
There's the numbers you see from a year ago that Todd talked about earlier. 2nd down and 5. Blitz coming. Waters throw into that same spot. This one's in and out of the hands of Lockett. He's looking for a flag and did not get one. Ryan Reed out there covering him.
Ryan Reed in good position. Just kind of squatted on this short route. He got away with a little bit of a grab as well. And again, we're seeing that they're allowing a little chicken fighting here early in the ball game.
And Lockett went out. He's limping. And that's not good for Kansas State. Now they converted their last 3rd down. This one's 3rd and 5. Waters going to take off, but he is not going to get anywhere. And it's Sean Oakman, one of our impact players, who drops him.
Sean Oakman did a nice job rushing up the field, top of the screen, and then reading the quarterback run and slipping right under the block and getting to the quarterback. Oakman had a monster game a week ago against Texas Tech, picking up where he left off.
He had 3 tackles for loss in that one and a sack. He's got his first tackle for loss and sack there. And it forces Nick Walsh to punt. Levi Norwood with the fair catch. And he takes it around the 9-yard line. 10:15 remaining first quarter. Baylor with the lead and the ball when we come back. He's going to lay it out long. 2 men out there. And he's got it. Touchdown. EJ's got an opening. Coast to coast. Touchdown. Play action, long ball, streak on the sideline, touchdown. Here's 101, touchdown. And Baylor has come from behind, shocked TCU and the entire country. That's how we called it October 11th. Now, TCU, Baylor, Ohio State, who's in? Those are the 3 teams that are on the cusp. Yeah. Mr. Blackledge.
Well, assuming all 3 of the teams, you know, Florida State, Ohio State, we already saw Oregon win. If those teams all win, Alabama won, those 3 are going to be fighting for something.
And the question is the head-to-head on October 11th, how much is that going to count? First of all, Baylor's got to take care of business here.
Yeah, assuming everybody wins. I mean, here's my deal. I mean, we show all those metrics and, you know, PSI and FPI and CSI. I mean, I don't know what half of that means. I'm not a big fan of style points. I appreciate what happens on the field and what we've seen with our own eyes. We've seen Ohio State twice, seen the Big Ten, seen the Big 12. I think the Big 12 is a better conference than the Big Ten. And we were here for the TCU game. And TCU had a chance to win that game. They had a 21-point lead in the 4th quarter, and Baylor came storming back and won. And I think if Baylor wins tonight, and I don't care how impressive of a win it is, if they win, I think they deserve to be in the playoff picture.
And the committee will decide, and you'll find out tomorrow afternoon. You know, speaking of style points, I have to salute Gary Patterson today for how he finished off the 4th quarter.
Yep.
His team took knees, turned it back over to Iowa State. They subsequently didn't pass either, and TCU, classy move there not to try to run it up to 62-3 or whatever it would have been.
Well, Gary Patterson's a ball coach, you know, and he's been on the other side of that. You know, anybody that's coached long enough has been on both sides of a situation like that.
So Baylor here in their 2nd possession. Another first down out at the 36-yard line. I beg your pardon, it's 2nd down and about a foot. I thought he got the first down.
Now we're backing it up a little bit.
Well, they're finally going to put the stick where it belongs. Maybe they're going to bring the chains out.
You know, since the last time we were here covering Baylor, they've gone through some changes in their offensive line. The whole right side is different. Their right guard, Desmond Hilliard, was injured. He's been out the last 6 games. Troy Baker, their right tackle, a senior, has been out the last 4 games.
I was right the first time. First down.
The thing about this Baylor offense that people, I think, overlook is how well balanced they are and how physical they are when it comes to running the football. You know about the passing of Petty and the speed on the perimeter, but they are a team that loves to run the football coming into the game, 240 yards a game.
Play action. Petty got away from the rush. Going to throw this one out of bounds.
Now, the first time that they were able to disrupt the timing, and that's what you have to do if you're defending Baylor. That was Ryan Mueller, one of their big play guys. Petty's 7 for 10, and as long as he can throw in rhythm and throw on time, this offense is virtually impossible to stop.
They had trouble with Mueller last year. He had 7 tackles, a forced fumble, a recovery, and a couple of sacks. Here's a quick slant, completes. Clay Fuller, and Fuller all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Well, the motion out of the backfield by the back just widened the defense just enough to allow Fuller, who showed block first, and then after that hesitation slipped into an open void.
First down. Now to go back to the ground. Shocklinwood, good gain for him to the 30.
The one game that Baylor lost this year against West Virginia, they were held to a season low of 95 yards rushing. Again, the balance and the effectiveness of their play action passing is what makes them so dangerous.
The big guy coming out, Laquan McGowan, all 420 pounds of him, comes to the sideline. Shocklinwood had to go out. He lost his shoe. So that brings Johnny Jefferson into the backfield with Bryce Petty on a 2nd down and 4. High snap handled by Petty. Jefferson close to the first down, about a yard shy.
And we should mention the reason we'll see more of Johnny Jefferson, the reason we already saw a run by Goodley. Their backup tailback, Devin Chafin, number 28, is out of this game, injured his elbow last week against Texas Tech, and that's a big loss because he was their physical back, a 228-pound running back, very effective in their short yardage and goal line run game.
There's Devin and his numbers on the year. First time a 3rd down has come up for Baylor. 3rd down and 2. And they're going to get it, but not by much.
See,
Jefferson brought down by Corey Johnson.
Yep.
I think he got it.
This is the kind of play that Chafin normally would be in for. 3rd down and short, power run situation. Jefferson able to fight forward for the first down. And now look for a shot towards the end zone. After the first down on the run, a little play action down the field.
10th play of the drive, just outside the 25-yard line. Draw play, up the gut, 11 more yards for Jefferson.
Well, nice job by Spencer Drango, the left tackle. He pulled through there and led on the middle linebacker. Nice execution. Same play.
Play fake, the throw, the wide receiver screen. Jay Lee, 1st and goal Baylor, inside the 5.
They faked the same running play. They pulled the tackle, led him up through. Everybody on Kansas State has to read that as run, and then they come out and throw the football off of it.
1st and goal at the 4, and a whistle stops play before the snap. False start on Baylor.
False start. Offense. Number 55. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Mike DeFees, our referee. First penalty against Baylor. And they have a lot of penalties. That's one of the sore spots for Art. So that backs them up. The 1st and goal at the 9. Into the eyes of Bryce Petty, who's going to throw on the run, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Randall Evans. Big time play. It looked like he had his guy open.
Well, that's a hard throw. He's rolling to his right. He's throwing back towards the middle. And really the play was made by the safety for Kansas State, who didn't allow Petty to run that to the corner for a touchdown.
Kansas State ball when we come back.
Presented by Hampton Hotels. Feel the Hamptonality. And in part by Dr. Pepper. Always one of a kind.
Back at McLean Stadium in Waco. Beautiful stadium, one of our favorites. And Randall Evans, that's his 4th interception of the season to lead Kansas State in that category. And that's only the 2nd time there's been a red zone interception this year. The 1st for Bryce Petty, in fact, and the 2nd red zone turnover. First down at the 20. Charles Jones in the backfield with Waters. He's going to come up throwing. Pump fakes, wants to go long. Now he does come back to the far sideline to Lockett, who's back in there. And picked up about 15 and a first down. Let's take a look at our good hands play brought to you by Allstate.
Well, Randall Evans is going to make a great interception. That's him right here. But the guy who also made a play, watch the safety Barnett as he doesn't allow the quarterback, Bryce Petty, to get outside after the fake. He forces Petty to make a difficult throw back across his body to the middle and causes the interception.
Out to the 40 goes Charles Jones. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, a few scary moments on this Kansas State sideline when Tyler Lockett, the best weapon they have, came out of the game, pulled himself out after that incomplete pass, and he came down awkwardly on his left ankle. They have retaped the ankle, guys. He just made that last reception. He looks great moving in and out of his break, cutting well on that ankle.
Everybody looks to the sideline. Waters maybe changing up the play on second down and 7. They'll keep it on the ground, and only about a 3-yard gain for Jones.
Yeah, but this is what Kansas State wants to do. They got the big turnover and the big stop by their defense. Now they want to control tempo some, run the football, minimize the opportunities Baylor's offense gets, and flip the field.
There's Kevin Lockett, Tyler's dad, who's a great player here, or for Kansas State, I should say. Remember doing his games, now I'm doing his sons. If we get around to the grandkids, I'm quitting. Third down and 4. Waters waits, now takes off, and he's going nowhere. Dropped by Bryce Hager.
It's good discipline by the Baylor defense. They didn't rush out of control. They maintained, contain, and Hager there to wrap up the quarterback. Waters had the option of throwing on that if it was open. Nothing was there. Baylor's defense forces the punt.
Hager had a career night a year ago in this game with 18 tackles. A big one there, forces a Nick Walsh punt. Nice kick.
Yep.
Norwood's got to let it go. It's going to be too good, actually, all the way to the end zone. Baylor with a 7-0 lead with 4:11 remaining first quarter. An hour and a half up the road today. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear here tonight. Whether you're going forward from a few yards out or from miles away, go with a tire with superior performance. Goodyear, more driven.
You know, and talking about individual players, were it not for the spectacular seasons of both Marcus Mariota and Melvin Gordon, Trevon Boykin, the quarterback at TCU, the year he's had, and going from wide receiver last year to quarterback this year, new offense, new system, he's been brilliant.
Yeah, he has. Baylor, nice start to this drive. It's going to be a first down run for Shock Linwood. Shock came in tonight, 1,135 yards, second in the Big 12, and 15 touchdowns on the ground. Right now, Baylor's off to the kind of start they wanted. We're not through a quarter yet, and they got 21 offensive plays. Like we said, they'd like to run about 90 if they could. Here's a long ball. Petty got his man, and it's Trevon Armstead, the tight end.
Well, that's only, I think, his 4th catch of the year. They haven't thrown to him much. Beautiful throw down the middle. Again, they have so many ways to attack you, and his accuracy throwing down the field, Bryce Petty, as good as there is in college football.
Here's Shock going wide. Going to be run out of bounds and around the 35-yard line. As Todd said, Armstead had 3 previous catches for 28 yards. That last one was 28 yards to get them where they are.
This is an unbalanced line now. They have their tackle over on this side, the tight end on the left side. Trick formation.
Play action. They go that way with the throw. Complete out to Goodley. Antoine Goodley with a first down. And Denzel McDaniel comes up with the ball, but it was down there at the 27.
Thought it was interesting when we visited with Art Briles yesterday. He said about his offense, he said, we're pretty healthy. Our wide receivers are healthier than they've been all year. And if Bryce is on, if our quarterback's on, we're going to be really hard to stop.
Right now he's doing a pretty good job. He just went over the 3,000-yard mark with that last throw, or that last 2 throws.
The previous play is under further review.
All right, so they're going to take a look at that last play. Remember, McDaniel ended up with the football and ripping it out right there. You can't see if the ball's on the sideline, though. That's one of the other things. Well, maybe it was out. Scooped up by McDaniel. Bill Lamagna is up here in the booth with us, our expert. Bill, what do you think?
The ball's out early. We're going to have to look to see, was it recovered by an inbounds player? So that'll be the key to this, but the ball is out. This shot should give us a good look.
And does it matter that McDaniel's elbow's out of bounds at that point, or not really?
Well, he was out of bounds, but he reestablished himself when he picked his elbow up, then his whole body was in.
So that could really change things. Already there's been 1 turnover, interception in the end zone.
Baylor has been on the plus side of the turnovers most of this season. Plus 12 coming into the ball game. Already had the critical one down in the red zone.
And that was 5th best in the country, the plus 12.
Again, how do you slow an offense like this down? You minimize the big chunk plays and you knock the ball loose some.
So the official review going on. The ruling on the field was that he was down, and here's the call.
After further review, the ball was out. However, when the Kansas State player recovered the ball, he was touching out of bounds. It's a forward fumble out of bounds. By rule, the ball be brought back to the spot of the fumble. It's Baylor's ball, first down.
So they dodged one there.
Nice job by McDaniel ripping the ball out. One guy had him held up. I'm not sure where he was out of bounds.
I'm not either.
You asked the question, Brad. He was out of bounds. He lifted his arm off the ground and picked up the football.
So that's a break for Baylor, no doubt. They maintain possession. They come up throwing on a wide-out screen, and Antoine Goodley is going to have a first down. We approach 3 minutes. Baylor leading 7-0 and threatening again here.
One of the things that makes this offense so difficult is they block run with their line and throw the football.
Straight up the gut, Linwood. See that? Inside the 10.
And that's the same blocking scheme that they used on the pass play the previous play. So if you're a defensive front 7, linebackers, safeties trying to read keys, you have to read run on both of those plays. One was a pass, the other one was a run. Same blocking.
2nd down and 3 at the 9-yard line. Bryce Petty taking his time, having a look to the sideline. He's been very sharp except for that one throw in the end zone. Linwood, oh, nice fake on the corner. Did he get to the end zone? Yes, touchdown. Whoa, what a move he put on before he got to the pylon.
Dylan Schellenberg just got frozen. I mean, he was in position. He had leverage on the ball carrier, and that little stutter step just froze him. And what an effort to get to the pylon by Linwood.
The previous play is under further review.
They're looking at this, too, to see if it's a touchdown. Looks like it to me. Pretty good shot. Here's another one. Unless his elbow was down before he got it there. Going airborne. Boy, that's a bang-bang play if there ever was one. So we have our second review of this drive. One that kept the drive alive, giving the ball back to Baylor, or maintaining possession, I should say. And now Shock Linwood was...
That would appear like his elbow was down before the ball crossed the pylon, but we'll see.
That's maybe the best shot right there. Bill, is that the best look we got? Probably, huh?
Go down.
After further review, the runner's left elbow was down prior to the ball contacting the pylon. The ball will be placed at the half-yard line.
Well, they got that one right. I'm not so sure the one before this that they did not get right. Baylor was able to maintain possession and now get the ball inside the 1-yard line.
Last time they were in this spot, Bryce Petty did it himself on a quarterback sneak. They bring in McGowan, who's maybe the biggest fullback in the history of any sport, number 80, to help lead the way. Shock Linwood's the guy that got him down close. Shock Linwood's the guy that carries it.
Nope, didn't get in. Now, believe it or not, they do have a couple pass plays that they have for McGowan. Not sure we'll see it here, but they do throw the football to him. He's a very athletic, large man.
Large the key. 6'7", 420. Art Brow says this is the future of football. They're all going to be that big someday. Linwood, whoa, he got whacked again and didn't get there. Dante Barnett twice has been the guy that made first contact, and Schnellenberg, the other safety, is still down. He was in on the play as well. Big time collision there, and he's feeling the effects. Senior out of Wichita. He got kind of rolled up. That might have even been friendly fire. It could have been, I don't know. His coach out to have a look, and we'll check on him when we come back. That could be. Well, here we've got a 7-0 Baylor lead as we take a look at the college football playoff rankings brought to you by AT&T. I'm sure all of you know and watched Alabama and their win in Atlanta over Missouri. So their claim has been made to the #1 spot. Second-ranked Oregon looked really impressive. Marcus Mariota last night, 51-13. TCU earlier this afternoon, we talked about it a few minutes ago. Resounding win in Fort Worth, 55-3. And, of course, Georgia Tech with a lead on Florida State. Ohio State's leading Wisconsin. And starting safety Dylan Schnellenberg. And it appears that he has probably broken his leg because they've got the air cast on him already, and the cart has come out, and man, last
we've seen too
game,
much of that.
Yeah, and as a senior, you know, bowl game ahead, and we have seen way too much, as Todd just said, of that. I don't know. Obviously, things happen in every game, but we've had so many leg injuries that are pretty gruesome, and with that in mind, we're not going to show you. You got rolled up in that pile, but we're not going to show that replay for you. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, this is awful, but it is a significant injury from Kansas State from a football standpoint as well. Travis Green, one of their good safeties, is out for the year. He would normally probably come in this situation, so we're probably going to see Caleb Pruitt, who is a freshman, 6'1", 204 pounds. He is a big kid, but very inexperienced for the Kansas State Wildcats.
Yeah, he's waiting, and he's going to be out there. You're right, Holly. So our well wishes go out to Dylan. It's going to be a rehab and a cast and the whole thing, but this puts the, as you can see on the faces of not only his teammates but all the Baylor fans, everybody hates to see the cart come out and the air cast and the whole thing, but that's what we've got right now with a minute 22 remaining in the first quarter. Baylor, meanwhile, is going to have the football still with a yard to go for a touchdown and to try to take a 14-0 lead.
Well, we talked about Kansas State's defense. One of their calling cards is they give up yards between the 20s, but when you get in the red zone, they have a tendency to really tighten up. It's a very close Kansas State team. Bill Snyder, you know, for all the great stuff he's done on the field at Kansas State and rebuilding that program, the sense of family and community that they have within that program is unbelievable.
They don't call it Family Stadium there for nothing. An unbelievable job he's done in his second stint in 23 years in Manhattan. And you know, he's really hurting for his senior safety, who's on the way to the locker room. And a great show of support by the mostly packed McLean Stadium with Baylor fans.
Well, and as Holly mentioned it, with Pruitt coming in as a true freshman, it may not show up at the end of this possession, but very soon he will be severely tested in his knowledge of the Kansas State defense by this Baylor pass offense.
You just saw Bryce Petty say something to Dillon as he passed through the Baylor backfield and on the way to the locker room. Meanwhile, back to the live action, the 10th play of the drive upcoming.
Baylor has put in their normal personnel, their passing personnel, after trying to run inside with heavy personnel on first and second down. More of a spread formation now on third down.
They actually lost a yard in those 2 carries, and now on third down and goal. Linwood, this time he makes it. Touchdown. So it took him another try, but Shock Linwood, who got him to the 1, is the guy that got the touchdown. And that's his 16th of the year.
Beautiful block by Trevon Armstead. Watch number 41 come right into your screen. Gets the block on the middle linebacker. And that change of formation just enough to widen out the Kansas State defense a little bit. And Linwood able to slip it into the end zone.
So that one took just under 3 minutes. And it's 14-0 Baylor. Shock Linwood. I think he should change his name to Shake Linwood on the run that got him to the 1-yard line. Watch this. Whoop. Goodbye. And then from a yard out, as I said, his 16th of the year, straight up the middle. 14-0 Bears. 80-yard drive and 10 plays. Well, now Kansas State's really got their work cut out for them. Baylor with 247 yards and 2 touchdowns, and we haven't hit the end of the first quarter. They're definitely on pace to run 90. Way more, in fact.
Well, Bryce Petty, other than the interception, 12 of 16, 155 yards. He's hit 7 different guys. So he's seeing the field, he's feeling the game, and he's on target throwing the football.
Spencer Evans' kick again. They're trying to keep it away from Lockett's, taken by one of the up men on a fair catch around the 31-yard line. As we check in again with Reese Davis. Reese. Keep us posted. First down here, Kansas State from its own 32-yard line, trailing now by 2 touchdowns. Jake Waters throws, completes out to Tyler Lockett, the all-time leading receiver for Kansas State, pickup of 16.
Good pass protection for Waters on first down. This Kansas State offense, you mentioned it earlier, they've really changed from last year. They've become more of a pass-oriented offense. Not as dominant of a running game as they've had in the last couple years. And Jake Waters, a very natural thrower.
Getting ready to throw again. Maybe. Nope. He's going to run with it. He's got good wheels and a nice slide. I think got him a first down, but we have a flag on the play. Going to be a holding call, I think. It's all coming back.
Holding. Offense. Number 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well, I don't know. I'm watching this. Boston Stuyvesant, the left guard. He's just working with both hands inside. That's a tough call. I mean, you know, my dad's an old offensive line coach, and you can call holding on just about any pass protection play. Watch Boston Stuyvesant right here. It looks like he's got both hands working inside. Boy, that's a tough holding call to make on that play. I'm sorry.
Your dad would be screaming at that one.
You're not kidding.
So it's 1st and 20, back at the 37. Waters got hit as he throws. And it's caught.
Wow, great
First down,
concentration.
Tyler Lockett.
That ball hung in the air a long time. Ryan Reed made a play on it, and Lockett with outstanding concentration at the end of the catch. Big time play, got all that yardage back.
22 yards and a first down. There's Dad looking on. We talked to Bill Snyder about having coached both these guys, and he said Dad was bigger and more fluent as a receiver. He had more of the natural instincts of a wide receiver. He said Tyler has made himself into a great receiver by working so hard. End of the quarter. For a share of the Big 12 title. Right now the fans in Waco pretty happy. Bears at the end of one, 14-0. Ellenberg being put in the ambulance to go to a local Waco hospital after being injured on that last drive down at the 1-yard line. Meanwhile, as we start the second quarter, his team trailing Baylor by 2 touchdowns. Just inside the 41, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew here in Waco share the Big 12 title on the line for these two clubs. Waters in trouble. Flushed out of the pocket, flags down. It'll be a holding in the backfield as he tried to get it out to Lockett, who's been his main target tonight.
Pretty good coverage down the field initially. Waters had a lot of time, couldn't find an opening.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Matt Kleinsorge, who's playing with an injury, and he's the guy with a holding call.
Well, his left hand is all wrapped up, has a cast on that left hand. He's played that way all year. You're basically playing with one hand.
So the holding came on the right hand.
Yeah.
We know that much.
Exactly. You can't hold with a thumb only.
They don't get penalized very often, that's for sure. Something that's been a staple for Bill Snyder's teams for a lot of years. First down back of their own 49. Quarterback draw for Waters. And he gets some of it back to the 45-yard line.
Probably very important for Kansas State to maintain this drive, to hold on to the ball, to score some points. Our statistician Pat McGrath passed a stat over during the quarter break. Baylor 30 plays, 247 yards in the first quarter, which puts them on pace for 120 plays and 988 yards.
I knew that was a good stat when it got to you instead of me.
Yeah.
He saves all the good stuff for you.
The underhand flip.
Yep. Second down and 14 just outside the Baylor 45. Waters, plenty of time. Throw tipped, almost intercepted.
Yeah, you know, Lockett was going to make a tackle on the interception. He thought for sure Ryan Reed was going to pick this off, and he stopped concentrating on making a catch and was thinking about making a tackle on the interception. Watch Lockett. He was ready to go make a tackle and prevent a touchdown going the other way. Reed in excellent position.
Getting ready to play defense right there, and then it went whoop right over his right arm. 7 pass attempts by Waters, and 6 of them have been aimed at Tyler Lockett. Got to get Sexton involved pretty soon. Waters going deep, and it's intended for Lockett again, and we got a flag.
Oh my.
Didn't need to be. Terrell Burt, and he knows it. And hopefully he's not hurt. I think it might be his feelings that are hurt.
When you mentioned Sexton, because, you know, so much attention being paid to Lockett.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Wow.
That came on 3rd and 14, and he is hurt, I guess.
Well, what a break for Kansas State. This ball thrown into double coverage, was going to have to take a perfect throw to drop in there.
Oh, he hit his head pretty bad at the end of the play. Didn't see that. So I'll apologize to Burt for saying his feelings were hurt, because I think it's his head. Ugh.
Well, new life for Kansas State offensively.
Yeah, that came on 3rd and 14. 13:57 remaining in the half. We'll check on Terrell Burt when we come back. Thomas will rip one on him. Tomorrow, the selection committee's final rankings revealed. Find out who's in college football playoff selection show presented by AT&T tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern on ESPN, and watch ESPN.
Triple option.
Each team has lost a starting safety now, as Terrell Burt was helped to the sideline, and that puts Alfred Pullum in his spot. First down on that pass interference penalty just outside the Baylor 30-yard line for Kansas State. DeMarcus Robinson going to bounce it outside and did well to get about 9. Nice run. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, they have taken safety Terrell Burt to the locker room. They were able to get him standing up, and he seemed to be completely disoriented. He was looking around. He was trying to talk his way back on the field, but he was very unevenly walking to the locker room. He's gone straight in there. He is doubtful to return at this point.
And again, Terrell, take back everything I said. I didn't see you hit your head on the sideline, and you can see he's got his eyes closed right now. So hopefully he's going to be all right for the bowl game, wherever that is, or whatever game they're in next. A lot of that to be determined here tonight, and with the selection committee's decisions tomorrow. 6-yard gain and a first down.
Some nice lead blocking by Glenn Gronkowski. Number 48 lines up in the backfield as a fullback. Doesn't get to carry it very much. Doesn't get to touch the football very much. But he likes to put his face on people and block.
And he's the last of the Gronks. His brother, of course, one of the great tight ends for the Patriots. There's the red zone efficiency for the Wildcats. Got it here at the 16-yard line with a first down. And Gronkowski in the backfield with Jake Waters. And Jake's going to say, we don't want to waste this opportunity. Let's take a timeout.
Critical drive right here for Kansas State.
Takes its first time out of the half.
We'll take the timeout with them. 12:40 remaining first half. Baylor by 2 touchdowns.
Prime Time is brought to you by Taco Bell. The new way to Taco Bell is here, only in the app. And Exodus Gods and Kings, Friday only in theaters.
Fast-paced living here in Waco. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Whether you're going for it from a few yards out or from miles away, go with a tire with superior performance. Goodyear, more driven, giving us the great shots in McLean Stadium and above tonight. First down, Kansas State after the timeout at the Baylor 16-yard line.
One thing Kansas State likes to do some is slip the tight end out on the opposite side of the wide receivers. Kind of a tight end screen or just a delayed release. Haven't seen that yet out of their offense.
Waters has to tell DeMarcus Robinson the snap count. Plenty of time to throw. Completes it out to Lockett, who's run out of bounds around the 10.
One of the things that we've not mentioned yet, defensive coordinator for Baylor, Phil Bennett, very close to Bill Snyder, the head coach at Kansas State, was his defensive coordinator at Kansas State from '99 to 2001. And he loves the man. He doesn't like coaching against him.
Right.
You know, he likes competing, but he has such strong feelings for him. It's hard being in this situation.
They can get a first down at the 6. Now the 3 wideouts are all to the top of your screen. Going to have to hustle to get this play off. I don't know if they did. The pitch to Robinson. Heading far side. Ooh, what a collision over there as he knocked out of bounds by Colin Brentz. And it was Bryce Hager that was giving chase, and they just got that play off.
Yeah, and they've been close to the end of the play clock a few times here, trying to make the perfect call, trying to wait to see the Baylor defense. A high, hard hit that time by Colin Brentz. Former walk-on, dad was a high school coach, smart football player.
9th play of the drive coming up, and it's 1st and goal at the 4.
This is where they go Wildcat.
And that's Charles Jones in the Wildcat. He'll take the snap. Gronkowski is there with him. He follows Gronkowski, weaves his way down, got to the 2, maybe even a little closer. Hager made the tackle.
Boy, you're right. He did follow Gronkowski. Stayed right on his hip pocket and tried to follow 48 into the end zone. Pretty good goal line defense that time by Baylor. The star of this Baylor defensive front is the guy right in the middle there, number 75, Andrew Billings, 6'2", 300-pounder from here in Waco, extremely strong and powerful.
Gronkowski again with Jones. Low snap. Jones going to go the other way. And this time he's in. Touchdown, Kansas State. From a yard out.
Nice little stutter step. Froze Colin Brentz that time. This time he doesn't follow Gronkowski. He goes back the other way, and that little stutter step froze Brentz, and he got a nice block by his wide receiver Deontay Burton to allow him to get into the end zone.
That's his 13th touchdown this year, 11 of them in that Wildcat set. So they've done it a lot this year, and it's paid off for them. Extra point is up and good. So the lead's cut in half with 10:47 remaining. Charles Jones from just outside the 1 cuts it to 14-7. That's All-State makes contributions to participating university scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. Since 2005, All-State's contributed more than $3.7 million in scholarship funds. They've given 3 extra points tonight. 14-7, Baylor. Good looking drive. Kansas State really needed that. They got helped by that pass interference penalty, but they went 68 yards in 10 plays to cut the lead in half. Corey Coleman on the kick return from just outside the 5. And shoved out of bounds as he got up near the 30. And we check in with Reese Davis again. Reese? All right, Reese, from Reese to Bryce. And the Baylor offense back out there, 30 plays and averaging over 8 a pop. This time it's Petty with his own number. It's the second time he's run it tonight, this time for about 5.
He runs just enough to make you account for him. Now, coming into the game, coordinator Tom Hayes at Kansas State was kind of anticipating that Bryce Petty would not run because of the concussion. He's run twice, as you just said.
And he picks up a first down on the quick throw to Levi Norwood.
You know, you have to disrupt the timing of this Baylor pass offense. That's get to the quarterback or jam the receivers. You can't let him set his feet and throw on time. You got to flush him like they did here.
And he's going to keep it again. And he's really close to a first down as he crossed midfield. So that time he runs out of necessity, not because he wanted to.
But all 3 runs have been effective.
Yeah.
The short touchdown, a designed run, and a scramble, all for effective gains.
And he's got the Bears back in Wildcat territory at the 49. Quick throw again for a first down. And it's Norwood again. He broke a couple of tackles and got 5 out of it.
They spread the ball around so well. You don't. Some teams we've covered this year, you see one receiver with a huge number of catches and everybody else way behind. This is a team that spreads the football out all over the place.
5 for 5 this drive. 6 for 6. Katie Cannon down to the 31. Cannon, a freshman out of Mount Pleasant, Texas. He's going to be a good one. Already is. And here's the pace they want to run right now. Goodley in the backfield. He fakes it to him, and Petty takes off on his own again. Clipped off his feet by Jonathan Truman.
See, this is a problem for a defense, because when you add the quarterback run, that's a whole different dimension, and that's something as a defense you have to account for, because they have one extra blocker when you do that. And that's the second quarterback run by design in the open field for Petty.
Again, just easy pitch and catch. This one to Jay Lee, and he's got another first down, and they're back in the red zone. Slicing up the Kansas State defense, mixing it up beautifully on offense.
It's all patience by Bryce Petty. He's only taken 1 shot down the field deep. It was incomplete. He's content to throw the ball underneath.
Play fake to Coleman, and again to Norwood, who got it to the 15-yard line. So we're down to 8:40 remaining in the half, and Baylor, good-looking drive again, trying to answer that Kansas State touchdown. 5 for 5 in this drive, 4 first down throws. It's the 9th play of the drive upcoming. Complete to the 10 to Goodley. That's about all the farther he's going to get. And it'll bring up third down and a couple. He's got Shock Linwood in there in the backfield. This might be, who knows, might be two-down territory to where Art Briles calls games. He and Philip Montgomery, the offensive coordinator. Linwood, Shock Linwood, first and goal. Ball's out. Wait a minute. It's scooped up.
It's a fumble
by DeCorey Johnson.
Well, for the second time, as the ball's down close to the goal line, Kansas State able to get the football once on an interception, and this time they rip it out. Was he down first?
Covered by the defense while on the ground. First down.
Oof. It was ruled a fumble, but was his knee down before the ball came out?
Looks like it right there. Bill, what do you think?
It appears he's got the shin, knee to the shin down, still has control of the ball. Replay should be taking a look at this.
Again, the ruling on the field was fumble recovered by Kansas State. I don't see that we have a review going on. They're going to leave that alone, I guess.
Well, if that's the case, if I'm Kansas State, I'd get out here and run a play.
Yeah, I would too.
I wouldn't give him a chance.
Kansas State's out there, but Baylor's not. Everybody in the stadium has seen what you've seen on the big screen, and they don't like it. 2 red zone turnovers now suffered by Baylor. Interception in the end zone. Okay, finally.
Play is under further review.
Well, there goes 3 minutes of our life we'll never get back. Luckily, they're going to look at it. And Bill Snyder's looking up at the screen as well.
Well, you can't, regardless of what happens with this call, the reality with Kansas State's defense, they give up yards and plays in between the 20s. When they get in the red zone, they play a different level of defense. They got the interception early in the ball game. Right now, this has been ruled a fumble recovered by Kansas State. We'll let them sort it out.
Don Capral's the replay official. Mike DeFee's on the headset with him right now. You've already heard what we think and what Bill thinks, but we'll wait and see what that committee comes up with. If indeed it's overturned, it's going to be a first and goal for Baylor around the 2-yard line. This is a struggle. This is not an official review. This is currently a struggle. Here's the call.
After further review, the runner was down. It'll be first and goal at the 2-yard line.
As long as we get it right.
Yep.
So what could have been a huge turnaround there for Kansas State's defense instead is a first and goal for Baylor. I think they're going to spot it around the 2. Shock Linwood knows that he's got to do a little better on holding on to the ball, even though he got a break there. Johnny Jefferson in the backfield with Bryce Petty on first and goal at the 2. It's Jefferson, and he backs his way in. Touchdown, Baylor.
Nice blocking by the left side. Blake Muir, the left guard. Spencer Drango, the left tackle. Both guys crashed their men inside, and Johnny Jefferson ran through one tackle into the end zone.
His 5th rushing touchdown of the year. Caps a drive that lasted just over 3 minutes. Chris Callahan's point after will make it 21-7 Baylor. So they're back to a 2-touchdown advantage. 7:43 remaining in the second quarter. Jefferson, after Linwood nearly fumbled, takes it 2 yards for the score.
You laugh, you think, and you cry. That's a full day. That's a heck of a day.
You can help us beat cancer. The V Foundation awards 100% of direct donations and net proceeds of events to fund cancer research. Log on to www.jimmyb.org or call 1-800-4-JIMMY-B to donate. (21-7) now. That Baylor sideline, they are having some fun over there. Got a long way to go, but they've got a 2-touchdown lead again. Again, try to keep it away from Tyler Lockett. This time they blasted it in the end zone. He has to take a knee. So right now, Bryce Petty having his way with Kansas State's defense. Although he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass, he scored on a 1-yard sneak. 18 out of 22, and really whipping it around to a lot of different guys, keeping everyone involved offensively.
Well, they use so many wide formations where they spread you out horizontally. And then he, when a quarterback is comfortable and in the zone, he's seeing the whole field, and that's why he's spreading the football around so effectively.
He had 6 completions on that last drive. He's thrown to 7 different receivers, and he's led touchdown drives of 70, 80, and 81 yards so far. Now it's Jake Waters' turn. See if Kansas State can answer here before halftime. This is a design run for Waters. He's going to lose a couple. Travis Britz, who we didn't think was going to play, made the stop. Actually, that's Blackshear.
Yep, Bo Blackshear. Bo Blackshear is also a senior from Waco who has had a phenomenal season. 6'4", 300-pounder. Billings is kind of the star up there. Blackshear, the blue-collar guy. But they're a pretty nice tandem on the inside.
Loss of a couple, 2nd down and 12. Play action, Waters rolling on the run. Nice throw to Lockett, 1st down. Well, maybe he didn't get the 1st down. I don't know about the spot, but I'm all done with the officials, whatever.
He was beyond it. Wow.
He got it by half a yard. Oh, man. 1st down for Waters. So at the 37-yard line, approaching 6.5 minutes remaining in the half.
Time for Curry Sexton to make a play for Kansas State. Only 1 reception, 7 yards. Here he is right here in the slot.
Another former walk-on turned down Harvard to play for Bill Snyder at Kansas State. Waters going long. Should be a flag there.
Yeah, a lot of contact. Xavier Howard had his hands all over the intended receiver.
Trujillo, the tight end, the intended receiver.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. 1st down.
Well, yeah, you can't grab the arm. In pretty good position, working against a bigger receiver. But can't pull an arm down.
So again, the penalties that have cropped up for Baylor all year long gives Kansas State a 1st down with that one. Trying to rip the ball away from Charles Jones, but he gets a nice gain. It'll be 2nd down after we check in with Reese Davis. Reese?
Brett, nobody can stop anybody from running in the ACC championship game. Georgia Tech's Zach Lasky going in. Another drive of longer than 70 yards. Yellow Jackets up on the number 4 and undefeated Seminoles, 21-14.
Paul Johnson, who's won the Coach of the Year honor of the ACC again this year, and that group of Yellow Jackets can give you fits when you only got about 4 days to get ready for them. 2nd down and 5. Jones again going to lose a yard this time. Taylor Young, nice play defensively. Not the biggest linebacker, but he's a good one.
And when we were here in October for the TCU game, he was making his first start. Avion Edwards was battling some injuries. Taylor Young, a redshirt freshman out of DeSoto, Texas, has gotten better and better as the year's gone on.
Big 3rd down here for Kansas State. Have to get to the 38-yard line. Clock winding down again. Down to 2. They got the snap away. Waters flushed out of the pocket, throws short, and there's Sexton, the guy that Todd's been waiting on. That's only his 2nd catch. The first one came on the first drive. This one gets him a 1st down.
Nice job by Sexton, just making himself available. Waters held this ball a long time, moved around in the pocket, bought time, and Sexton just stayed in an open spot and showed his numbers to the quarterback.
One of the captains, senior out of Abilene, playing his football in Manhattan, about 40 miles from his hometown. Big catch there, another 3rd down reception, as was his first, and it keeps the drive alive. Play action. Waters throws, got his tight end down inside the 15, all the way to the end zone. Touchdown. Trujillo from 36 yards away, and it's down to a 1-score game again.
Well, earlier in the drive, they went to Trujillo, and they got the pass interference. This time, nobody picked him up. As he released on the corner route, nobody got him in coverage. You see Taylor Young chasing after the play, but they fooled the Baylor defense, and the tight end on the backside of the formation gets the touchdown for Kansas State.
The Wildcats really needed that one. And now the extra point can make it a 7-point game. Up and good. It's a 75-yard march in 7 plays. Engineered by Jake Waters, and he found Trujillo, his tight end, 2nd touchdown for the big guy this year. As we take a look at how Kansas State's finding success, brought to you by Expedia.
Well, Jake Waters is going to find his tight end wide open on the corner route. Here's Howard again, the cornerback who was called for the interference the play before. He turns him loose, and nobody picks up the tight end running deep. They covered the short receiver. They did not cover the deep receiver, and Jake Waters smartly found the open man, and Trujillo got it to the end zone.
Nice balance just to not go down after making that tough catch, and he drags him all the way to the end zone. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Phil Bennett wasn't very happy with Xavier Howard either. As he came over to the sideline, he was really ripping him. He's like, I told you to roll. I told you to roll. And when Howard tried to explain what he did, Phil said, no, you didn't.
He's still over there talking to his secondary.
Well, again, this is a secondary that last week was torched for 598 yards and 6 touchdowns by a freshman quarterback from Texas Tech.
Now with just over 4 minutes to go in the half. Levi Norwood from the 2. And cut down flag on the play.
Kansas State has played themselves right back into this game. They've got to stay in this kind of a range. 7 to 10 points away from Baylor.
During the return, holding. Return team number 21. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Baylor retains the ball. 1st down.
Patrick Levels, the guilty party on the hold on the return. Right there.
That's a takedown.
That was pretty good if you're a wrestler. WWE stuff there. So that puts him in not so good field position at the 11-yard line. Since that interception in the end zone, perfect. Like Todd said when we talked to Art yesterday, he said, when my quarterback's on, we're hard to beat. he's on so far. This one's a little bit low, but it's scooped up for a pickup out to the 16-yard line by Corey Coleman. Coleman came in as a leading receiver on the team with 53 catches before the night, 10 of them for touchdowns, which was first in the Big 12 as far as receivers go. Linwood nowhere to run for Shock that time. No gain.
You know,
Valentino Coleman, first guy to stop him.
The interesting adjustment Kansas State has made, instead of going with the freshman safety Pruitt, they brought in a backup cornerback, Nate Jackson, who's a redshirt junior. And they've moved Randall Evans, the nickelback, back to safety along with Dante Barnett. So they didn't want to go with the true freshman. They went with older guys playing in some different positions right now.
A whistle before the play, flag down.
False start. Offense, number 5. Never got set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Antoine Goodley was still moving before the snap, so they're going to face their longest third down of the night right here.
Yeah, they'd only had 3 third down situations prior to this one. 3rd and 1, 2 and 3.
And they're perfect so far. See if they can pick up 9 as we're at the 3-minute mark. A lot of threes in that conversation. Linwood with Petty, but Bryce set to throw, flips it out, completes. Whoa, not going to get the first down. Jay Lee should have just turned around and tried to hit the turf. Instead, he backpedaled and lost yardage.
Well, Art Briles likes to go for it on 4th down. He's done it a bunch, 33 times, but not this deep in his own territory.
Not at the 21.
Nope, and not with Kansas State right in the ball game here. But Kansas State's going to get good field position. Again, the penalty on the kickoff return set him back.
Spencer Ross is a good punter, but right now he wants to keep it away from number 16. That's the main ingredient. So, don't punt it to him.
And sometimes when you're so conscious of keeping the ball away from somebody,
Baylor
you don't execute the kick properly.
Baylor's going to take a timeout here. Gives us a chance to remind you that tomorrow the selection committee final rankings will be revealed. You can find out who's in. College football playoff selection show presented by AT&T. That's tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern on ESPN and Watch ESPN. So we've started all this off in August with a brand new college football playoff situation. And tomorrow we find out. I'm excited. You know, the Tuesday night shows were good. Kind of find out who was in the mix. Tomorrow we find out who's really in it.
Yeah, it's been exciting. And as we've said all along, and as most coaches that we talk to say, the only one that matters, the only ranking is the last one. You know, so we're going to have the last one tomorrow, and we'll see how this thing all shakes out.
And, of course, Baylor's in the mix. They got a win tonight. And here's the punt. Let's see if he keeps it away from Lockett. He doesn't. But Tyler only got about a yard on the return. So at any rate, we were here and we talked about in the open, if you missed it, we were here for the TCU game, 61-58, a 21-point comeback. Head to head. It's got to count for something, doesn't it, partner?
I think it does, and I think it will count once all the games are played. I think once everybody's resume is complete, I think head-to-head will count with the committee. I don't think it has counted to this point, but I think when you're talking about Baylor and TCU, when those guys go in the room tomorrow, I think it will count quite a bit. And I think when you look at those two teams anyway, the resumes are going to be almost identical. And the one thing that separates them is when they played each other.
And, of course, Baylor's still got to win this game tonight. But this would be another quality win for sure because Kansas State is ranked 9th coming into this one. And Baylor 6th. Waters running out of time, running for his life. Down he goes. And Bryce Hager got to him. And we talked about the first meeting, and it was a fun one to call. I'll say that much for us. It wasn't too fun for the TCU folks, I guess, in the final quarter.
Well, look at that, 782 yards of offense.
Wow.
TCU had a 21-point lead in the 4th quarter.
Here's the throw out to the tight end who caught the touchdown pass on the previous drive. Trujillo. Colin Brentz made the stop down to a minute 20. Kansas State would love to get something here before halftime. But they've got a big third down. They got to get all the way out to the 49-yard line for a first down. You don't want to make a mistake here either and give a freebie to the Baylor defense.
Right. So you don't want to make a mistake, and you don't want to leave Bryce Petty with very much time. They called timeout right before they got the penalty.
Kansas State takes its second time out of the half. 30 seconds in duration.
So 1 remaining. And with that, we got time to check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
Brad, the Buick halftime report is just around the corner. Let chaos ensue. We've defined that as everybody winning. As it turns out, number 4, Florida State, is having a terrible time stopping the option. But the flip side to that is Georgia Tech can't stop Florida State either. Ohio State is rolling and making a big-time statement against Wisconsin. We'll show you the entire day of Championship Saturday. Mark and Lou are here. It's coming up on the Buick halftime report.
We look forward to it, Reese. Thanks. We've got 1 minute and 2 before we get it to you guys. A touchdown lead for Baylor right now, and a 3rd down and 13 after the timeout by Kansas State.
Not sure there's a more improved team in college football over the course of the year than Ohio State. We saw them against Virginia Tech. They were not a very good football team at that point. J.T. Barrett had not established himself. Then he gets hurt. Doing it with Cardell tonight.
I don't think anybody will ever forget that game. I know we won't. 3rd down and 13. See if they keep it on the ground. And then wait a long time to punt and keep it out of Bryce Petty's hands. They fake it. And now they will run it. Quarterback draw. Waters. Oh, nice move in the open field. He paid for it, though, as they brought him down after a 6-yard gain.
Art Briles wants a timeout here. He wants to save as much time on the clock as he can.
So they'll be down to 1 as well.
When you're an offense that coming into the game has scored 21 touchdowns in drives of 1 minute or less,
Baylor,
48 seconds is an eternity.
Right. So they're going to put 3 seconds back on the clock as well. So they're going to have a little more time to work with. When they're up at the half, they usually don't lose 29 in a row. I don't know if Oklahoma was up at halftime today, but they weren't up at the end of overtime. That was a strange ending in Bedlam. Punt return for a score, and then an overtime field goal won it for Oklahoma State. So Nick Walsh to punt. And that's Levi Norwood waiting on the other end. And another timeout.
I don't think Baylor had enough guys on the field.
Baylor takes its
wrong
third and
personnel.
final time out of the half.
So 30-second timeout here, and they're out of timeouts. That doesn't help their cause when they get the ball back. Well, tomorrow morning, start things off. NFL countdown. Playoff picture starting to come into focus in the NFL, too. Chris Berman and the guys get you ready for all the big matchups this week, including a crucial NFC showdown in Philadelphia between the Seahawks and the Eagles, plus all the latest injury updates from Morton Adam. All that on Sunday NFL Countdown tomorrow morning, 9:30 on ESPN, and watch ESPN. And that'll lead you up to the selection show at 12:30 about the college football playoffs. So we got a lot of ball for you tomorrow morning. So Levi Norwood only averaging a little over 5 yards a punt return. This one way up in the air, and he'll have to call for the fair catch, and makes it around the 23-yard line. That's where Bryce Petty will go to work, but he doesn't have much time and no timeouts. But tonight he's proven once again that he's one of the fine quarterbacks in college football, as he's been throwing it to 7, 8 different receivers all over the field. He's one of the Manning finalists for that quarterback award, and I know that Archie and Peyton and Eli, who that award is named for, they would love a quality kid like him to be the guy to win it.
Absolutely.
He is a special young man that we've had time to spend time with the past couple of years, and he's not only a great quarterback, really good young man. There's his numbers on the night. Comes up firing, complete. Nice catch. Looked like Antoine Goodley almost caught the back end of that football.
Obviously not feeling any effects from the concussion last week against Texas Tech. Clear thinking, good accuracy. He's run the ball 4 times.
This time fires to the sideline, out of bounds, stopping the clock. KD Cannon. And again, even though they don't have any timeouts, as Todd mentioned, you got an offense like this, you still got an opportunity. 13-yard pickup there. First down at the 45, pump fake, and now he goes that side to Norwood. Short gain, out of bounds at the 48.
I understand Kansas State's defensive philosophy of trying to keep everything in front, but they have not jammed these receivers at all, and so they're coming off the line of scrimmage clean every time, and Bryce Petty so far in the first half has been extremely patient.
And that one's tipped. And he got away with one there. Morgan Burns got his hand on it over there on the corner. And he had hit his last 14 in a row before this one.
Nice play that time by Morgan Burns, who kind of slipped off of his coverage, made a play on the football, and almost got a deflection into an interception.
Now let's see if they'll go for the 7 yards they need to quickly get out of bounds or take a shot here. They do not have a long ball field goal kicker. Quick slant, Norwood, and Norwood's down inside the 30.
Clock will stop until they reset the change. You got to spike the football.
They got to hustle. Baylor's ready, and they get it stopped with 4 seconds. Wow.
Well, they've hit the seams quite a bit tonight, and it's been different guys. Slot receivers work in the middle of the defense. Again, there's been no pressure on the wide receivers, so clean releases into the secondary quickly, and Bryce Petty getting them the football early.
Chris Callahan's long this year's 38 yards. That was last week against Texas Tech. This one will be a 46-yard field goal attempt to end the quarter and extend the lead. Kick on the way, and it's a beauty. Perfect. A 10-point lead for Baylor at halftime, courtesy of Chris Callahan's longest Baylor field goal. Let's go to Holly.
Well, what a beautiful kick right there, but I want to talk about your quarterback. You said when Bryce Petty's on, you guys are hard to beat. How do you assess he's done so far, Coach?
You know, I mean, we're playing pretty well. They're a good football team. You know, it's going to be a war. Second half's going to be just like the first. We just got to keep playing. You know, we got to get a couple stops defensively. We got to keep scoring on offense.
Kansas State's going so slow. They're letting the play clock almost expire before they snap the ball every time. How does that affect how fast you want to go? Because you haven't gone too fast yet.
Yeah, I mean, it has really no effect. When we got the ball, we got to score. When they're on offense, we got to get stops, Holly.
All right, thanks, Coach.
They've got the lead at halftime. They usually don't lose the lead or lose the game when they lead at halftime. 46-yard field goal takes us to the break. A 10-point advantage. Bryce Petty saying, "Atta baby." Reese and the guy.
We determine our champion on the field. We play each other every year, pitting explosive offenses against aggressive defenses, leading to exciting outcomes, to the thrill of passionate fans. 10 teams, 9 games. Every game matters. One true champion.
Number 9, Kansas State. Number 6, Baylor. What a scene. Into the eyes of Bryce Petty. And he's going to try for his 5th rushing touchdown of the year, and he's got it from a yard out. Now 3rd down and goal. Linwood, this time he makes it. Touchdown. Again with Jones. Low snap. Jones going to go the other way. And this time he's in. Touchdown, Kansas State. Play action. Waters throws. Got his tight end down inside the 15. All the way to the end zone. Touchdown. A 10-point lead for Baylor at halftime, courtesy of Chris Callahan. And we welcome you back to ESPN's College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels. Part of Jimmy V Week for Cancer Research on ESPN as we continue our commitment to the V Foundation and Jim Valvano's dream to defeat cancer. Baylor halfway to a share of the Big 12 title. 24-14 right now, just about set to start the third quarter. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Todd Blackledge. Holly's down on the field. You look at these stats, more than twice as many yards, 20 extra plays. It's kind of what we expected out of Baylor, but Kansas State's hanging in there right now.
They're still in the ball game. They're right within striking distance at 10 points. They get the ball to start the third quarter, but they've got to find some way in the second half to disrupt the rhythm of Bryce Petty. He's 24-29 that first half, threw the ball to 7 different guys, was not sacked, and if he stays in that rhythm, they're just too tough to stop.
And then Baylor would share the Big 12 crown with TCU, a team they beat earlier this year when we were here, and then it'll be up to the committee tomorrow morning. As Todd said, Kansas State's going to get the ball to start the third. Spencer Evans to kick off. That's Tyler Lockett, who probably won't see it, the way they've been trying to keep it away from him on these kickoffs. This time he's going to run up on it, though, and he can field it at the 22. They couldn't keep it out of his hands because he gained so much ground to get to that football and got it out to the 36-yard line as we check in with Holly.
Well, talking to Coach Bill Snyder of Kansas State at the half, he was really fairly pleased with their rushing attempts per yard. And he said, when we can stay close score-wise like we are right now, that helps us so we don't have to throw the football. We can still stay, not pedantic, but patient in how they rush the football. He said, it would be better if we were within 7 right now. He was upset that they gave away that last field goal to stop at the half. But he said, hey, this plays into our effect that we can pass and run if we need to.
And his quarterback's been pretty efficient, too. Not the kind of numbers Bryce Petty's had, but good enough. And he's going to run it here on the first snap of the third quarter.
Yeah, they have run it effectively enough to, to give them some balance. And they're right in striking distance. They have not been able to generate many big plays. They've had 2 pass plays of 20 yards or more. No runs of 10 yards or more. So in terms of big chunk plays, Baylor's defense did a pretty good job in that first half of limiting that.
Trujillo is the only one that had a big chunk play, and that was on that touchdown you saw as we came back to start the second half. Gronkowski in the backfield with Waters. That was Lockett in motion. They're going to bring him around on a reverse. Lockett made one-man miss, got out to the 45-yard line, about a yard shy of the first down.
A nice job by Boston Stuyvesant, the left guard, getting out in front of that play. And Lockett just kind of running almost like a punt return. Once he gets out in space, he's pretty elusive. Can make a guy miss. Brings up a 3rd and short.
One that they really need here to start the third quarter. Any kind of points they could get out of this drive would help the cause. And they're going to try to run their quarterback, I don't know, really close, depending on the spot. And the linesman's got the spot. Might be close enough to measure.
Got a little help from Gronkowski.
Yeah, pushing him in the back a little bit. This will be an important measurement. Gronkowski, remember we said earlier, the youngest of the Gronkowski brothers who all played football, both in college and the pros. Gordy Jr. actually played baseball at Jacksonville. Chris played at Maryland and Arizona, and then with the Cowboys, the Colts, the Broncos, and the Chargers. Dan played for the Lions, the Broncos, Patriots, and Browns, and of course Rob's the All-Pro with the Patriots. That is a first down.
By a nose.
Just the nose, and that's all you needed. And so an important conversion there by the quarterback and Gronkowski with a little bit of the help. He says, Jake, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to hit you, but I'm going to have to hit you.
I'm not sure he gets that first down without Gronkowski.
I don't think so. So it's a first down at the 46-yard line. Nice play fake and a throw at Trujillo again. The tight end in the open field. A stiff arm, and he's out of bounds at about the 5.
Wow.
2 huge plays by number 85 tonight.
Well designed. Now, this is the first time they've done that where the quarterback looks like he's going to run, and then he comes up throwing. This time, Trujillo slips right behind the second level of the defense. The run threat by the quarterback froze the linebackers, and Trujillo slipped in behind him.
Making his 49th career game. The tight end's playing in, and a 48-yard gain, his second longest of the year. And now Charles Jones back in there in the Wildcat. As Kansas State's got it first and goal at the 6. Got decked as he crossed the 5.
Taylor Young, nice tackle in there. Alfred Pullum, the backup safety, who is in for the injured Terrell Burt, in on the tackle.
Again, he's trying to follow Gronkowski, and then he got pelted by those two that Todd just mentioned. He did get it just shaded inside the 5. He'll take the Wildcat set again. Remember, he scored earlier in the ball game. He's got 13 touchdowns on the season. Second and goal. This time a cutback. He's going to lose yardage. Didn't follow his blockers. Decided it looked like there was an opening on the left side, and there wasn't.
Well, that's the one he scored on in the first half. He starts out by following Gronkowski, and then he goes back the other way on his own. It was open in the first half. This time Baylor maintained leverage on him, and it was a nice play by Xavier Howard to make the stop.
Well, now they keep him in there, but they also bring in their quarterback because the situation has changed. Third and goal outside the 7. Waters back in the shotgun.
Lockett out to the top. Sexton in the slot to the right.
Looking that way, firing that way. Jump ball knocked down by Ryan Reed, intended for Lockett. And it's 4th and goal.
Lockett running a little corner route. Good job by Reed jamming the receiver at the line of scrimmage and then making a play on the football. That was good physical defense by Ryan Reed. He was physical with Lockett, running right off the line of scrimmage, and then physical at the point of the catch as well.
Matthew McCrane's only missed 1 field goal this year. As we said earlier, any kind of points to start the third's a good sign. He'll try to make it a 1-touchdown game. And it's up, and it's good. Nice way for Kansas State to start the third quarter. They would have loved to have gotten a touchdown, but as it is, they've cut it to 24-17. Back to a touchdown again, 24-17. Matthew McCrane's field goal after a 57-yard drive and 8 plays. That's how Kansas State opened up the third quarter. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Whether you're going for it from a few yards out or from miles away, go with a tire with superior performance. That'd be Goodyear. More driven. McLean Stadium packed tonight. A share of the Big 12 crown on the line, and maybe more if Baylor wins. Well, we got a pretty good football game going on right now. Patterson's kickoff. He'll go to the 9 to Norwood. And he's upended before he can get out to the 25-yard line. Let's check in with Holly.
Phil Bennett, the defensive coordinator today on the Baylor sideline, used to be an assistant coach at Kansas State with Bill Snyder. When a tragic story unfolded, his beautiful wife Nancy was out jogging one day and was struck by lightning and subsequently died. It was a very difficult time for Coach Bennett. He had 2 young children, Sam and Maddie, ages 8 and 11. He wanted to quit, and he told Bill Snyder he was just going to quit coaching and go home to Texas. Bill Snyder would not let him quit and was a great support system more after the play.
As Todd said, loves the man, hates having to coach against him. You saw the embrace there between the two before the game. Get back to Holly after Bryce Petty takes this snap. First down at the 23. And Bryce in trouble. Throws on the run and completes it. Nice throw out to the 42.
Guys, just to complete that, not only was Coach Snyder there at the hospital with Phil all throughout this, but actually he babysat Maddie. She got off school early, and Phil Bennett would be out on the practice coaching field, so she sat in her office and colored with Coach Snyder. A great support system.
Oh, great story, too. Long ball, man open. Antoine Goodley, touchdown. "58 yards. Just like that.
They got him with the quick snap. Kansas State was slow getting lined up. Randall Evans, number 15, was slow getting in position, and Goodley just ran right by him. There was a lackadaisical effort in the back end of the Kansas State defense against the tempo offense of Baylor, and Baylor made them pay for it. You know, the play before they blitzed, it was the first time they blitzed Bryce Petty, and Morgan Burns had a shot to stop the quarterback and missed him. And the second play, they get burnt for the touchdown.
So 26 seconds after we said the lead was down to one touchdown, that's all it took. Bryce Petty going long. Antoine Goodley on the other end. 77-yard drive in 2 plays. 31-17.
ESPN College Football Primetime is brought to you by Dr. Pepper, always one of a kind. And Lexus. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here, now through January 5th.
Quick scoring drive engineered by Bryce Petty. Since the interception, 17 out of 18, 229, and a touchdown. That's what you call rallying back from your first mistake, and your only mistake for that matter.
Well, there were 2 mistakes made by Kansas State on that drive, which were very uncharacteristic for the Wildcat defense, and Bryce Petty made him pay for it.
And this kick, and bring it out to the 25. We're going to take you inside the drive. DirecTV takes you inside the drive.
Well, 2 mistakes. The first mistake was made by DeCorey Johnson. He's going to come on the blitz, but miss. He's got a clean shot. They didn't blitz the whole first half. He's got a shot to get Petty. He misses. Petty gets outside and makes the throw for the completion. And then on the next one, watch the safety right here. He's late getting lined up. He's slow getting into position. That's Randall Evans, and he's beat from the very outset of the play. Quick snap, fooled him. And 2 mistakes by Kansas State, 2 big plays, and a touchdown for Baylor.
Goodley had him in his rearview mirror from the get-go on that second one. Here's Waters, throw out, Lockett separates a couple of would-be tacklers. He's got a first down. And a penalty marker at the end of the play. Pickup of 13.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 28. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So a 28-yard pickup with the penalty. Stewart, the safety. And his teammates are trying to calm him down. Whoa, he's not calming down easily.
I'd go right at him again.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Well, he's hot.
Lockett with 2 blockers in front, hurdles his way to about the 40. As we check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Brad, the Big Ten championship game is a total mismatch. Melvin Gordon, this is his 6th lost fumble of the year. That's tied for the most in the country. Joey Bosa turns it into a touchdown. Buckeyes making a statement, 38-0 at halftime in Indy.
Wow. Didn't see that one coming.
No way. And Cardell Jones having a nice ball game. Now he's got help around him, but he's playing like a guy who belongs on that stage.
Waters follows Gronkowski, cuts back to the middle, spins his way to a first down. Taylor Young dropped him, but he got 7 yards.
The Kansas State offense has been pretty methodical. I mean, they've gotten enough chunk plays, you know, to offset. They've had decent balance. Jake Waters making good decisions with the football.
At the end of this one, they need a touchdown, though.
Colin Klein is defensive quality control for Kansas State. He's thinking about getting into coaching, loves being around it, loves working with Jake Waters, helping him play the position.
Of course, 2 years ago when we did that game, we thought he was on his way to the Heisman Trophy before Baylor derailed the Wildcats in that one. Big upset. Taylor Young again out on the tackle on Waters. Taylor Young only about 5'10", but poured into 225 pounds, a redshirt freshman out of DeSoto, Texas. He's had a good ball game so far tonight. Marcus Robinson back in at tailback, and Waters will actually be under center here. Trujillo, his tight end, shifts over to the right side. And that's where they'll run the football, but only for about a yard.
Nice play by Bryce Hager.
And he's a football player.
Yeah, you know? He's a tackling machine. You know, I mean, the guys like that, they read things quickly. They react quickly. Watch 44. Gets a beat on it. Slips off the block of Boston Stuyvesant, the guard, and goes there and makes a sure tackle.
He's gone over the 300 career tackle mark in this game tonight. 91 on the year, leads the team. He had 124 a couple of years ago. Last year he only played 9 games because of an injury, and was still one of their top tacklers. And timeout. 3rd down and all-important 3 coming up.
Kansas State takes its first time out of the half.
We'll take the break with them. 8:17 remaining 3rd. Baylor 31-17. Tonight's Aflac trivia question for you. What players are ranked number 1 and number 2 in career receptions at Kansas State? I think I might have given that away in the first quarter. 3rd down and 3. Biggest 3rd down of the night for the Wildcats right here.
Keep an eye on Trujillo. He's been kind of a big guy, the tight end at the top.
They're going to run it with a quarterback. That was not a good choice.
Wow.
Drop for a loss. Billings and Smith.
Well, you see this, the strength of Billings on this one. Watch 75 right in here. Just kind of drive his way through the guard into the lap of the quarterback. That's power.
He's the most powerful guy on the team. Texas state record holder for weightlifting that stood for about 20 years after Mark Henry had it. So they have to settle for a field goal again. This is a 47-yarder, a lot longer than the last one. Kick on the way, just made it. Again, they have to settle for 3, but it'll cut the lead down to 11. There's 7:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. No, we didn't give you long to think about the Aflac trivia question. What players are ranked number 1, number 2 in career receptions at Kansas State? I gave it away earlier, didn't mean to. Tyler Lockett and his daddy, Kevin, who looks like he could still play. Looks young enough to still play. We get that guy in front of him to sit down. That's his grandpa behind him as well. I mentioned, did some games with Kevin when he was a standout wide receiver for the Wildcats, 93 to 96. 217 catches, 2nd in school history to his son. 3,032 receiving yards, 2nd in school history to his son. 26 touchdown catches. That's the only one his kid hasn't broken yet, but he's even with daddy right now at 26 of his own. 2 really good players, and as Bill Snyder told us, it starts with the fact that he's never been around more quality people, not to mention their football skills. Kevin back in the 90s, and Tyler now here in 2014. The kick. Norwood walks up on it at about the 4-yard line. And it gets it out to the 27. And we check in with Reese Davis again. Reese.
Got it. Reese Davis with you in the studio. Florida State and Georgia Tech. Justin Thomas is balling out in this option offense for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets have run it 49 times, passed it only 3 times. They've already run for 291 yards. St. John Days goes in, and we're tied in the ACC championship game on ABC at 28.
Georgia Tech picked about 6th in their side of the division in the Atlantic Coast Conference in the championship game, and given Florida State everything they can handle. Bryce Petty, quick play fake, a strike to Clay Fuller on the slant, and a 1st down, pick up a 13.
Clay Fuller, a senior, missed a bunch of games earlier with a broken collarbone, but a very gifted receiver on the inside.
And now flags are down.
Yeah, they weren't set.
Second time that's happened tonight.
Ball starts. Offense. Number 69. 5-yard penalty. First down.
This time it's on the right tackle, though. Colbert. Last time it was on Antoine Goodley. So sometimes when you're going so fast, you go a little too fast before the snap.
Well, and most of that is on the quarterback. You know, you got to allow your guys to be set for 1 second.
Hey, as hot as he is, he wants it in his hands really quick.
Yes, he does.
So that backs it up. First down at 15. Back at the 36. Nice opener for Linwood. And Shock gets it down to the 45. 19-yard run.
Boy, nice patient run by Linwood. Watch that cut. Back to the outside. He got that defense flowing to his right. And a quick cut with excellent vision for a big gain.
They fake it to him here, and Petty fires near side, complete. Goodley. And Goodley inside the 40 before he's brought down by Will Davis, one of the inside linebackers. Down under 6.5 to play in the third quarter. Baylor trying to win at least a share of their second straight Big 12 championship. Goodley again. Got a nice block. The second effort got him to the 30 and a first down.
Again, so much of this is just Bryce Petty making the decision to throw. In this offense, so often it's just kind of a numbers game. If they have too many guys inside to stop the run, you throw it out quickly. The line blocks the same way, run or pass.
Play fake, going deep now to the end zone, just through the hands of Jay Lee. And Jay would like another shot at that one, I think.
Well, he threw this one a little bit too far outside. If he throws it back towards the middle and he doesn't have to bend away from it, it's probably an easy touchdown catch. The ball got away from Bryce a little bit. Again, super accurate throwing the ball down the field. That one wasn't his best.
Doesn't miss many. So second down and 10 at the 30. Draw play inside. Nice run and close to a first down. Maybe has it. Johnny Jefferson.
Boy, nice execution. Pat Colbert, number 69, the right tackle. They've run this play a lot. They pulled a tackle and lead him up through. It's an ISO play. Good execution by Baylor.
Third down and a couple of feet, and they'll throw for it easily. Pitch and catch. Jay Lee, first down around the 12.
I think the thing that's been the most impressive is, as much as Bryce Petty likes to throw the ball deep down the field, he has been content to just throw underneath because of the off coverage.
Jefferson inside. Tough run by the quick back Johnny Jefferson inside the 10. You know, Legend, those play fakes, it's amazing how quick Petty gets it out of the gut and in the air when he's throwing quick and on rhythm.
It's all rhythm. It's all timing. And he's been on it tonight.
And there's another one, and this one might be a touchdown. Nope. I'm going to say he stepped out. Pick up a 5, though, and it's Jay Lee again. And Lee's been a big part of this possession.
Well, that was their 61st play of the ball game. There's where he stepped out. Again, they only had 58 last year in Manhattan.
First and goal at the 2. Jefferson. Touchdown. Nope.
Yep, they're coming in from the backside.
Okay, linesman calls touchdown. Johnny Jefferson came in to give Shockwood a breather after Shockwood did a lot of the work on that drive. Chris Callahan for the point after. Boy, every time Kansas State has made a field goal, Baylor's had a touchdown answer.
Yeah, you can't beat Baylor with field goals. No, you just can't do it.
Lead goes to 18. 72-yard drive in 10 plays. Johnny Jefferson caps it off. Now those are the teams in the hunt. Tomorrow the selection committee's final rankings are revealed. Who's in College football playoff selection show, tell you, presented by AT&T. Tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern on ESPN, and watch ESPN. I'm not sure it was biblical, but we were here, and it was a heck of a fourth quarter in a 61-58 win for BYU over TCU earlier this season, back in October. Well, Morgan Burns took it away from Tyler Lockett. Let's see what he does with it. Nice run back.
Yeah, I think he felt like he better do that since he stole it from their best return guy. He better make up for it by getting a decent return.
There's a flag, though.
During the return, holdings, return team number 90. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st and 10.
So that negates that nice run back.
Yeah. And puts Kansas State back in a hole.
There's the hold on 48.
Kansas State, not a very heavily penalized team. 6th best in the FBS coming into tonight. That one was a pretty costly one.
Talk about hidden yards. That one just set them back 30 yards with the penalty from where they would have been. Inside their own 10 now. Long way to go and down a bunch.
Oh, he was going to throw it.
He was. Gronkowski.
They were looking for Lockett, and Lockett was double covered. It was a one-man route, and Baylor with good defensive discipline on Lockett. Gronkowski was definitely going to throw this. It's a one-man route. They tried to stutter step, and it didn't fool the Baylor defense. Excellent discipline in the back end of Baylor's defense by Ryan Reed.
Not only that, they lost yardage on the play, so it's 2nd down and 13. Jones in the backfield with Waters. It'll be Waters from his own end zone. Look out. Almost a safety. He got out of there. Back to the 2. KJ Smith got to him.
Well, nice job by Hager, who came on a delayed blitz. Watch number 44 come late. And that's the unblocked man that's going to force Waters up in the pocket and almost result in a safety.
3rd sack of the night. And Kansas State is really making it tough on themselves. And the crowd's not helping Waters, that's for sure. 3rd down and 17, and now he's in his own end zone in the shotgun. Rolling to his left, going to be a tough throw. He does set his feet, though, and he threw a strike to Lockett. And Lockett's out across the 20-yard line. And that's a 1st down.
Well, as good as Ryan Reed played early in this possession, that's a play that you hate to give up. Man, you've got this offense pinned down. The quarterback's throwing out a deep out of his own end zone to their number 1 receiver, and you give up a conversion. Good execution. Jake Waters throwing to Lockett.
His 9th catch for 112. Rest of the team's got 5. So he's putting on a show as he has through his career for the Wildcats. But they're going to need a lot more of him. We're under 3 minutes in the 3rd, and they're down 18. Inside handoff, couple yards for Charles Jones. Hager again around the football and in on the tackle. Haven't been able to get anything deep other than to their tight end.
Yeah, that's right. And they've hit Lockett several times, but he hasn't had anything that's been behind the Baylor defense. They've been kind of clued into him on anything deep. Or locked in, shall we say.
Exactly. It's a Wildcat now for Jones on 2nd down and 8. Waits. He thought about throwing it, almost looked like, but he's going to run for what might be a 1st down.
I was just about to wonder with him in this part of the field if they do have a throw with him in.
Sure looked like he had his hands around the ball that way, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Kind of that same hesitation, quarterback run, throw if the guy slips behind the defense that we saw earlier with Jake Waters throwing it to Trujillo. That time he ran for the 1st down.
Jake back in there now, quarterback. Cody Cook, the motion man, into the slot on 1st down from the 32. Waters deep down the middle. Complete, and it is to Cody Cook. Pickup of 20.
Nice throw by Waters. Good protection, nice clean pocket. Steps into this throw right over the outstretched arm to Bryce Hager. That's a beautiful throw.
Sure was.
Over the linebacker and in front of the safety.
And it gets them back in Baylor territory. They haven't been having that much trouble getting into Baylor territory. It's once they get there, they've had to settle for field goals. And they're not going to win the game, as Todd said earlier, swapping field goals for Baylor touchdowns. Final minute, third quarter. The give is to Jones. Jones got himself a little seam and goes for another dozen. And a first down.
Well, for some reason, watch Oakman's going to go inside hard. And when he goes inside, that leaves a big gap out there for Kansas State. The right run play called at the right time. Oakman took a hard inside move. They tried to bring the linebacker over the top. But Kansas State had him outflanked on that run. Good running play on first down.
8th play of the drive. If it's a run here, it's probably going to bring the third quarter to a close. And only about a 2-yard gain. Nice play by Taylor Young again, the linebacker. So Kansas State's got 18 points to make up in 15 minutes. Share of the Big 12 title is what's on the line, and we got 1 quarter to go. End at 3. Baylor 38. Kansas State 20. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Whether you're going for it from a few yards out or from miles away, go with a tire with superior performance. Goodyear, more driven. Beautiful night in Waco. Through 3 quarters, the home team trying to win their 16th straight here in town. And if so, they'd have a share of the Big 12 championship, and who knows, maybe so much more. But we've still got 15 minutes to go. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our crew, as Kansas State's trying to make up an 18-point deficit. And the completion to Lockett again. That's his 10th catch of the night. And it's going to get him a first down.
You know, you say, well, how could this guy catch so many balls if you know they're going to target him? Well, one of the things that Kansas State does is they move him around. He doesn't always line up in the same spot or the same side. Most of the time he's on the outside, but every now and then he'll go inside as a slot receiver like he did that time for the catch.
Right now, he's split to the top of your screen. Part of a trio over there with Sexton and Cook. This is a quarterback keeper all the way. Waters on a cutback, dives for 2 or 3.
Yeah, you mentioned the home winning streak. It's just amazing to think about what Art Briles has done here. When we were talking to Bryce Petty yesterday, you know, they're the defending Big 12 champions, and he said 5 years ago they were just hoping to scrape out 6 wins and get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
And now they're in the college football playoff conversation. It's pretty amazing, the turnaround here in Waco.
Defending Big 12 champions. Waters, far side throw is a tough catch, and it is made though by Cody Cook. Good grab.
Boy, Orion Stewart made a play on the football, and I thought he was going to come up with his hands on the ball. He breaks, comes over the top, he misses, and Cook is able to keep great concentration on the football and go down and get his hands underneath the ball for the catch.
Cody, a junior out of Lewisburg, Kansas, gets him a first down just outside the 15-yard line.
Well, you almost have to get a touchdown here if you're Kansas State, or this game's going to get away from you too far.
Straight up the gut, spinning inside the 10. Charles Jones. Hager, another tackle, but a pickup of 7.
We've called Hager's name so many times tonight. His dad was a great football player at Texas. It's saying the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right?
That's right. That's a tough apple, too. 6'2", 235-pound senior out of Austin. 13th play of this drive for Kansas State. Waters, the fade to Lockett, and he got it. Touchdown. 7 for Tyler Lockett.
He beat Ryan Reed on the play, got separation, and that's all he needed. Faked inside. What a great move to sell the inside route. That froze Ryan Reed and created the separation, and that's all that Waters needed.
And he's keeping the ball. Good for him. He's got every record now the school has to offer. Receptions, yards, and just passed his dad. And a few of the Kansas State folks are saying, hey, Kevin, we loved you when you played. We love your kid as well. Extra point is good. So Kansas State still very much in the ball game, courtesy of the 11th catch of the night. Tyler Lockett, another record, and he's cut the lead to 11.
Baylor, thanks to that touchdown from Tyler Lockett, he's broken yet another record of his father's. I talked to him this week about their relationship and what it's been like this year breaking those records. He said, the first one I broke, I got a nice text from my dad saying, what's up, all-time career yardage leader? His dad was so proud of him, but he said as it's continued to go on, his dad has continued to reiterate, I'm so proud of the records. It's really cool that you're doing this at my school where I made a name, but I'm even more proud of the young man you've become.
Now, how about this? Not only the great player, he's also one of those guys who's going to go to New York City as a National Football Foundation scholar athlete, on and off the field.
And that's what Bill Snyder said. Quality people to start with, and then quality football players came second. Trent Tanking, I think, is the injured party for Kansas State. It is from the linebackers.
There on the right side of your screen, number 58.
Just a
went down
big-time
quickly.
collision.
Yeah.
He and Lee Bristow face to face on that one. And Bill Snyder's coming out again.
Prime Time is presented by Hampton Hotels. Feel the Hamptonality. And in part by Dr. Pepper. Always one of a kind.
Baylor hasn't lost at their new football palace here at McLean Stadium. 5-0 on the year. And they've got an 11-point lead with 12.5 to go and the football. Meanwhile, Petty and the Bears from the 30-yard line. Bryce, the quick throw. Blockers out there for Goodley. Number 5 picked up about 5.
That time Kansas State came with some pressure, a 5-man rush, but the ball's out of Bryce Petty's hands so quickly, it's hard to get to him.
This time he's going to keep it himself. Maybe got 3. Will Davis, the linebacker, made the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down and a couple. Well, they want to pick up this 1st down and not give it back to Kansas State, that's for sure. It's a 2-score game right now as it is. This is a big 3rd down for the Baylor offense. 3 receivers to the top. Here comes a blitz. Petty throws that way, wide open.
And Fuller comes underneath it. Run off the defenders, throw to the short receiver, and Fuller gets right up the field for the conversion.
And we got another Kansas State guy down. That's Jonathan Truman, one of the defensive captains, their leading tackler. We have had way too much of this tonight. Leading active tackler, a former walk-on too. The walk-on story for Kansas State is pretty phenomenal, and Bill Snyder's right out there again to look at his leader. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, I will certainly check on Jonathan Truman, but he is just a remarkable story. He is one of 4 captains who started their careers at Kansas State as walk-ons, and the sacrifices they've made to be a part of this Kansas State football team. The starting center, B.J. Finney, he had $16,000 left that his father, who passed away, had left him in a life insurance policy. He used that money to pay his tuition just so he could play football at Kansas State and earned a scholarship. For Ryan Mueller, another one of the captains, he had a landscaping business in high school. He'd saved up a lot of money for his college education, and he used that to pay tuition to get an opportunity to play for the Wildcats. And Jonathan Truman, just a remarkable young man. Bill Snyder says He is probably the toughest man that we have ever had play for Kansas State, and you know he does not pass out compliments lightly. Just a remarkable group of seniors, captains, walk-ons making their name at Kansas State.
Great story, Holly. Heck of a football player. Left ankle is the problem for Jonathan.
Yeah, not putting any pressure on it or weight at this point either.
He had 17 tackles in the Oklahoma game. He's played a whale of a game tonight, but probably is over for him as well. Bryce Petty, career high in completions tonight, 33 out of 39. Close to 400, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception is about the only mistake he's made. Now that was a collision. DeMonte Hood and Corey Coleman said hello. And DeMonte won that battle, by the way.
Yes, he did.
Second down and 10. Empty backfield for Bryce here at the 49-yard line. And he's flushed out of the pocket. He's going down. And it's Ryan Mueller, who Holly just talked about.
First time they've gotten to him. It was not a blitz, but it was a strong inside move by Mueller. Watch him work inside with the spin move.
Well,
excellent technique. And Bryce Petty nowhere to go.
Pat Colbert didn't know where he went after that spin move. And Mueller.
It's the hardest hit Bryce Petty's had all night, too, hitting the ground.
That's 5.5 sacks on the season for Mueller. That's tops on Kansas State's team. This now the longest third down of the night. Third down and 18, and he's in trouble again. And down he goes again. This time it's Markel Bryant.
Well, they ran a little stunt. The end came inside. The tackle came out. Watch the stunt on the backside. 2 plays in a row. They kind of whipped the guys up front for Baylor. And a big, big stop for the Kansas State defense, who's just hanging right around in this football game.
Now let's see if Spencer Roth can keep it out of the hands of Tyler Lockett. Haven't had a lot of punts.
Ooh, they
went after it. And Lockett's going to have a fair catch back at the 15-yard line. So Kansas State's got it back. Down 11. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Monday night, Matt Ryan and the Falcons going to Lambeau to take on Aaron Rodgers and the NFC North leading Packers. Monday at 8:15 on ESPN, and watch ESPN. Northern night, like Monday, the Falcons, believe it or not, are leading the NFC South. 2 games under 500. And the Packers at 9-3. Leading their division. That's the playoff picture right now. It'll start to clear up considerably the next couple of weeks. Baylor's needing their fans right now because Kansas State's got it back, trailing by 11. Waters throws a strike, and it's Lockett again.
He just keeps finding a way to get open. Nothing complex, no fancy double moves or anything like that. Just curl routes, out routes, and sure-handedness on the other end.
Got his 16th career 100-yard plus receiving night as well in this one. Jake Waters has hit his last 8 passes. This time he's going to call his own number to get the first down out to the 29. And Jake Waters has broken Michael Bishop's total offense record. So we got some marks that keep piling up. The only problem is they still need a couple of scores to get back in this thing. That's a pretty impressive one considering how good Michael Bishop was. First and 10 at the 29. Waters will run again after the pocket collapsed, and he's going to get another first down.
Good decision and a good job by Trujillo turning into a blocker down there. Once he felt and saw his quarterback scramble, watch number 85 after the route, turns into a blocker. He looked back, he saw his quarterback run, and his block enabled Waters to get about 10 extra yards.
There's Carolyn, his mom, with the binoculars, just saw her son go 12 yards for a first down. Winding down near the 8-minute mark from the 41. Waters Fires near side, complete. Cody Cook. Cook diving out to midfield.
Good decision. They sent Lockett deep. He drew 2 defenders. That left 2 underneath routes open. And Waters made the smart decision to take what the defense gave him.
Time's becoming a little bit of an issue here.
Now, the problem for Kansas State is they're not a tempo team. They're not a team that normally scores real fast. They have long, methodical drives. They got time for maybe 1 of those, but not 2.
Have we had a game this year where we had 2 quarterbacks this hot? I don't think so.
Wildcat. Waters is out as a wide out.
To the top of your screen. And Gronkowski, here comes an, back to Waters. Little flea flicker type. The throw is incomplete. Broken up by Xavier Howard.
Well, credit the Baylor defense. That's the second time that Kansas State has tried some kind of a trick play, and it has not fooled the back end of the Baylor defense. Wildcat, double reverse, trying to throw it, looking deep, nothing there. Good discipline by the Baylor defense on that second down and short play.
That one took a long time to develop. And Phil Bennett's defense was up to the task. 3rd down and a big yard right here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think this has got to be 2-down territory for Kansas State.
They're going to take a timeout.
Kansas State.
And they're down to 1, and that's not helping their cause either. 7:17 remaining. Final quarter, 11 points.
Who is the best?
To the end zone.
They just won't be denied.
The question gets an answer. Who's in?
And that means tomorrow the selection committee's final rankings are revealed. We'll find out who's in. College Football Playoff Show presented by AT&T tomorrow 12:30 Eastern on ESPN and watch ESPN. Baylor wants to stay in the conversation. They've got an 11-point lead, 7:22 to play. And Kansas State an all-important 3rd down and a yard right here. Gronkowski and Jones behind Waters, but he's going to try to do it himself.
They got that push from Gronkowski again. I don't know. By the look of the spot, it's going to be a little bit short.
Well, they moved the ball at the end, tried to. Again, you see Gronkowski putting his forearm between number 15.
I just don't know how they marked that short of the yard line, though. Oh, okay, I see now. Yep.
And Todd said earlier, got to be 2-down territory.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
So whether they're short here or not, they're going to be going on 4th down and a couple of feet, I think.
And on
not even that much.
And on the Baylor side, I think at this point, you know, obviously you're trying to get out of here with a win. You're trying to hold on here. But with what's happened in the other parts of the country today with TCU this morning or this afternoon early, the statement they made, the statement Ohio State is making tonight in the Big Ten championship game, I don't think they can afford to give up another score here.
So you are into style points a little bit.
No, I'm saying for their sake.
Okay.
I'm not on the committee. If I was on the committee, style points don't mean that much. But they apparently do mean something to other people.
Well, here's maybe the ball game. Oh, he's just stretched out. I think he got it at the end.
Yeah, I think the reach of the ball at the end is going to get the spot.
And the officials are trying to get everybody separated as quick as they can to either do another measurement or just give them a 1st down sign. Remember, they needed the length of the football. It's 1st down.
It was the reach at the end because he was stopped initially. Good extension.
And when that ball comes out right there,
yep,
it's a 1st down.
Just has to cross the plane. It does.
The drive remains alive. 7 minutes.
Is a 1st down. The previous play is under further review.
So they'll take a look at this one upstairs. Gronkowski, some of his best work has been behind his quarterback tonight. Again, Waters on the sneak. His legs are still moving there.
I mean, he needed like a foot, right? A foot and a half?
No, about the length of the football is about all. I think this one's going to stand. His thigh and the football landed almost exactly at the same time. But we'll wait and see. Crowd is patiently waiting, looking up at the jumbotron here. And we've got our decision.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Kansas State keeps it alive with 7 minutes to go.
Well, they had plenty of time while that was being reviewed to get exactly the play that they wanted on this first down play.
They're going to need 2 scores. So at the end of this,
I think they need to go ahead and take a shot down the field. They have not tried to stretch this defense vertically on just a normal first down play.
Cody Cook in motion. The last time he went in motion, they threw it to him. Waters, pockets collapsing. He's going down. That's something they didn't need. Xavier Howard from the cornerback spot got to him. 4th sack of the night for the Baylor defense.
Well, they had double coverage on Lockett, and they had tight coverage on Sexton. And that's where Water was looking. And he didn't have either guy open, and then the pocket collapsed. Nice job on the backside by Howard, getting the loss of yardage play.
So they're back on their own end of the field at the 44 with 2nd down and 17. 3 receivers up top. Waters in trouble again. Oakman almost got him. He sidearms it out there and got it to Lockett, but they only got a couple of yards out of that.
Oakman's been pretty quiet, but that time he got quick pressure and forced Waters out of the pocket.
And that sack was a killer, because now it's 3rd down and a whole bunch. And whether it's 2-down territory or not, I'm sure it is. They've got to get all the way to the 39-yard line for a first down.
And this play, he's got to be thinking half the yardage. Don't try to get it all back in one throw.
Baylor thinking about a blitz. Hager backs out of it. 4-man rush. Jake rolling to throw, fires, and caught by Lockett again.
Oh, my God.
And it's a career night for receptions for number 16 as well now.
There are 3 defenders around Lockett, and somehow Waters drops this ball in to his guy. 3 black shirts, 1 white shirt, and the ball goes right in between them for a huge completion.
20 yards on 3rd and 15. And it's to a guy you know he's going to be looking for. And Tyler Lockett just continues to impress. First down. Waters, this one missed communication and intercepted. It's Howard on the corner.
Yeah, you're right about a miscommunication. Deontay Burton was the receiver, never looked for the football.
That might be the one play that kills any hopes for Kansas State. Receiver thinking one thing, quarterback another. Interception by Howard. And the Baylor Bears have got the ball back with 5:08 remaining. By Hampton Hotels. Big interception by Baylor now. They lead by 11 with 5:08 to go.
Well, and Xavier Howard, the 6'2", 200-pound sophomore cornerback with back-to-back huge plays in this drive. First, he got the sack. That's what set Kansas State back. And then he's the guy that records the first turnover of the night for this Baylor defense on the interception. Miscommunication, but Xavier Howard, right place at the right time.
His 4th interception of the season. Shocklin would drop for no gain by Will Geary. And the clock works its way under 5 minutes. That young man, a sensational night.
Yeah.
And it looks like it might be in a losing effort, but he's going to end his regular season and his college career in with another mark of most catches in a game. He passed his dad earlier with that touchdown catch for the all-time mark in that capacity. Shocklin would again just got a couple before he's hit by Will Davis, and he got help from his friends.
Now, right now, Shock Linwood's got to be thinking, get the yardage you can get.
The ruling on the field is forward progress prior to the ball coming out. Third down.
Get what you can get and then get down, because Kansas State right now is going to try to hold him up and strip the ball out. That's the only chance they have right now, is to get a turnover and a quick change of possession.
3rd down and 8. Looking for a stop here. It's hard to get against number 14. He's just that good and releases it that quickly. And there you go. 1st down. Jay Lee.
The thing that Bryce Petty has done beautifully today is he has found the matchups. He's not gotten greedy. He's not gotten impatient. He has just taken the open receivers no matter where it's been. And it's added up and accumulated over the course of the night to throw for over 400 yards. But very few of those passes have been for 30, 40 yards. It's just been 10 here, 12 here, 14 here, 6 here. And it's added up quickly.
To 412 right now. Now back to Linwood. And Shock goes for 5. Jonathan Truman, who's back in there, he was shaken up earlier. Remember, he's playing hurt. And he's in on that tackle. And we're down to 3 minutes.
And Baylor going at a snail's pace right now for them, trying to use more of the play clock than they're accustomed to doing. But why not? I mean, at this point, that's what they have to do.
And they are using as much of the play clock as possible right now at 15 and winding down at 50 plays in the first half. Kansas State's limited them in the second half, but still 72 for the game is not too bad. Here's 73. Linwood spins. Going to be a yard or 2 short of the first down, so another 3rd down coming up. But the clock is Kansas State's enemy right now, and they only have 1 timeout remaining. Looks like Kansas State's regular season is going to end up at 9-3 and 7-2, and that Baylor would be in a share with TCU for the Big 12 championship. Shock Linwood, 1st down, big run out to midfield, and now it's probably just going to be a matter of time. So now you start to think ahead. If you're a Baylor fan, and I know they're already thinking about it, you've seen several signs in the stadium tonight referencing the TCU win 61-58 back on October 11th. And I'm glad I'm not on the committee.
Yeah,
because
I am too.
They got to make a decision in a couple of minutes whether Baylor's a better team or TCU's a better team. And remember, head-to-head has got to mean something.
And again, I think it will mean something now. Because now when you, just talking those 2 teams, Baylor and TCU, because Ohio State's another, that's a different deal. Baylor and TCU, if you're talking those 2 teams in this league, now that the resumes are complete and you line them up side by side, they're almost identical. And the one factor I think is going to have to be the head-to-head and the fact that Baylor beat TCU. Some people suggest, well, they got to look at it and say, what would happen if they played now on a neutral field? Well, why speculate? To me, they already have a real thing that happened.
Right.
And we were here and we saw it. Both great teams, outstanding teams. But in my opinion, if those resumes are that close, which I think they will be at the end of the night, Baylor won, and TCU had their opportunity to win here with a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Well, of course, TCU beat Minnesota, which ended up being a pretty darn good football team, and you say, well, Baylor only beat Buffalo. Well, you stack them side by side now after what happens here tonight when Kansas State comes in ranked number 9, and it's looking pretty good. It's going to be a tough choice.
It will be. And then Ohio State, again, making a very strong statement. My only point on that is I think the Big 12 as a conference is stronger than the Big 10. And so if you're choosing between 2 Big 12 teams and a Big 10 team for that one spot, I think it should be a Big 12 team.
Ooh, almost busting it out there. Johnny Jefferson has already got 2 touchdowns on the ground tonight, and he almost split that one for a big score. He picked up 13. Here's some of your championship weekend action. Oregon really impressive over Arizona last night. Marcus Mariota, sensational again.
And the defense.
And the defense, no doubt about that. Florida State's got the lead on Georgia Tech in the ACC title game in Charlotte. TCU, we mentioned earlier this afternoon, they probably could have had more points in that game, but Gary Patterson took a few knees there just to not rub it in, and they won and were very impressive in doing so. Alabama earlier this afternoon at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, 42-13 in their win. And now here's Baylor with an 11-point lead. And it almost went up to 45-27 without the shoestring tackle. It's Nate Jackson, the guy who's shaken up on the play.
And I'll tell you what Ohio State's doing tonight also is impressive to me, because we saw them twice. We saw them against Virginia Tech. They were not a real strong football team then. We saw them later at Penn State. They were not a great team there that night. Their offense didn't play particularly well. Their defense was pretty solid. But then they've gotten better as the year's gone on. And they played beautifully against Michigan State. They're down to their third quarterback, and they're winning going away tonight against Wisconsin. I mean, that's a pretty impressive finish to the season for the Buckeyes.
You know what's kind of lost in all of this stuff is we're talking about the 4 teams that are going to make the playoff. You know how good those other bowl games are going to be?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Chick-fil-A peach and the cotton and the orange and all of that. Going to be unbelievable matchups. So it's not like that's the only thing in the future of some of these teams. They're going to have some pretty impressive bowl trips as well. So again, using as much clock here, Baylor, as they can. Kansas State can't stop it again. They're out of timeouts, and it's a first down, so it's pretty much academic. It's going to be some fun snaps here for Bryce Petty, who ends his home career. You know, they had some really good quarterbacks, including a Heisman winner in RG3, but boy, this kid stacks right up with the rest of them.
Yeah.
And he might end up having a better NFL career than some of them before him, for all we know. They took over with 5:08 left. The Bears did. The 10th play of the drive is coming up, and it's probably going to be the final snap at home for that young guy. And we've really enjoyed being around him the last couple of seasons. Career highs tonight. Not a lot of touchdowns, but a lot of yards and a lot of big throws when they needed them. There's the final kneel down. And here comes a cold coach if they can catch him. Oh, they Coach Bennett. Phil got wet. Art didn't.
Yeah, Art was too quick.
Yep. So a share of the Big 12 crown goes to the Baylor Bears. They'll share it with TCU. And only the committee knows and can tell you tomorrow, starting at 12:30 on ESPN, which one they view as the better team and one that's more worthy maybe of being in that Final Four playoff. 16 straight wins at home. Let's go to Holly with the winning coach.
Well, Coach Briles, Kansas State gave you a good fight tonight, but what did you notice about your team that they had a championship in their mind?
You know, I mean, they're a great football team. I mean, they're number 9 in America. You know, to repeat as champions, it's hard to do, Holly. Only, you know, we did it. I'm not sure if Florida State won or not, but if they did, we're the only 2 that's done it. So just shows you how tough our guys are, because we haven't been taking jabs. We've been taking haymakers all year. We're 11-1. We're Big 12 champs.
I know that there's going to be so much speculation between now and tomorrow about who deserves to be in the Final Four, Coach. What do you think that this win tonight means that you deserve to be in?
We've been the top 5. We've been the top 10. We've been the top 15 at the time we played them. I don't think there's another resume that has that on the board. I think you put them on the board, take the name off the resume, point to 4 resumes better than ours, you're not finding one.
And at the end of the day, how important is a head-to-head win over TCU?
What country we live in? America?
We do.
If you and I race and you beat me, you're faster than me. We play a football field we play a football game on the field. We win, then we're the better team. I mean, we are, and that's the way it is. I mean, next year will be a different story, possibly, but right now, we won the head-to-head battle. That's what ought to count.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time, and congratulations.
Thank you.
A statement made by Art Briles. His team wins it 38-27 tonight. And now it is indeed up to the committee. SportsCenter is coming up next. We'll be back with you on SportsCenter. Right now, though, for Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe and our entire ESPN crew from Waco, Texas. Good scene. The defending champs are co-champs again. Baylor 38, Kansas State 27. From Waco, unless you join us on SportsCenter, Brad Nessler, good night.